Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raider Sport. Appreciate each and every one of y'all pulling up to today's show. And, dude, NFL football season's freaking back. Coming up here on today's show, I'm going to go through some of the biggest storylines that you should know around the Raiders and some of the biggest storylines going on right now around the New England Patriots leading in to this NFL Week 1 show. And every single Tuesday, I'm going to be live this entire season. I'm going to be breaking down a lot of the things that I'm going to be looking for, what y'all should be looking for heading into that matchup that's going to end up happening. But, you know, I was sitting around yesterday. Obviously, a few moves ended up happening with the silver and black. I made some shorts on it yesterday. Also made a video bright and early this morning. But I'll tell you this, man. Dude, like actually realizing that we've made it through May, June, July, making it through August. And, you know, I think the preseason, it's cool and all. Training camp practice, it's cool and all. But you get to that point of, all right, man, I'm ready for some actual football season content. And the fact that this is NFL Week 1 is absolutely positively unbelievable to me. One of the other segments I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to go through and I'm going to give you my updated final Raiders 2025 record prediction. I'm going to go through it game by game. I'm going to give you score predictions. I'm going to tell you who's going to win and give you that final season record for the silver and black. I'm also going to give you some keys to victory against the Patriots. I also asked our Patriots host here at Chat Sports to give me their keys to victory against the Raiders. So what I tried to do is see what they said, and then I go, all right, how are we going to counter to make sure that those keys do not work? If you want to get in today's duck race to win some money, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. So before you guys see how many games I think the Raiders are going to win, I want to know from you down below in the comment section, how many games will the Raiders win this upcoming season? And obviously, you know, it starts Week 1. It starts right from the jump. You're going up against New England on the road. Mike Vrabel, a lot of storylines in this one. But for this, how many games do you expect this current Raiders team to win? I need to know from all y'all right now. I see Jeremy Cole's going to go with a 9. Raider Nation 80 says 9. XX is going to go with 6. RJ Cole gives me an 8. D-Mac 10. Brian Baca 10. Right now, I am seeing somewhere between 9, 10. I've seen 11. I'm seeing down there in the 7-8 range from Twins. 13 from Ray Romero. Aunt Ray is going to go with 10. I mean, we are all over the board here, and I think the Raiders are honestly one of those teams that I could sit up here and give you a show of why the Raiders could win double-digit games this season. I could also sit up here and tell you why the Raiders won't win 6 games this season. It really depends on what type of team this team is from the jump, and I think it really does matter of how much we're winning in the trenches on both sides of the football. I love our offense. Our defense, though, does scare me a little bit. What's up, Knight? Appreciate you getting on today's show. Got rejected at school today. I don't know what that means. So Raiders Report makes the pain go away. What's up, Mitch and Chuggs? So you're saying you got rejected at school. I'm guessing you're talking about dating is my best guess. Here you're like, bro, I was out on the recess, you know, and I went up for a layup and I got rejected. I don't even know if kids do recess anymore. I'll be honest with you. Well, I actually can make this even better for you in case you're wondering. So now that football season is officially upon us, now that it is officially September, I am doing a brand new September raffle, and I'm really excited about the raffle that we got going. So today and the entire month of September, every $5 super chat that we get is going to be a raffle item. And the raffle ticket is going to go out, and you're going to have an opportunity to win a signed Ashton Jeanty Raiders helmet. So shout out to John Fallon, loyal Raiders Report watcher. He sent us in a signed Ashton Jeanty Raiders helmet. Full-size helmet, normal helmet, and whoever ends up winning the raffle, you guys are going to get a really cool prize. Signed Ashton Jeanty helmet. So, Knight, maybe you got rejected, but hopefully, I don't know, you're the first person in, and maybe you got a shot to win a little bit. Also, really cool thing about today's show. For those that do not know, we are going to be going live on Thursday. I know the Raiders do not play on Thursday, but once the season starts, every single Thursday night football game we're going to be live here on the Raiders Report. We're going to be talking about the game from a Raiders perspective, but then also, sit back, kind of Raiders Friday happy hour style, and we're going to be having a good time. One of the deals that I got going on Thursday, last year I wore all these crazy costumes, and I'm not saying that it can't happen again. It absolutely can happen again, but one of the things that I wanted to be able to do on Thursdays is give the viewer, give the audience, maybe a little bit more power of what Chuggs and I are eating and drinking. So all I'll say is this. Whoever's MVP is today, you get to pick the 6-pack of beers that I'm going to be drinking on Thursday. Now, there might be other drinks that end up going down on Thursday Night Football, but I always think it's really cool, if you're like, hey, I'm from, Wisconsin. Try this Wisconsin beer. Well, I'll get a 6-pack of it, and that's going to be one of the things that I'll drink on game day. So whoever is the MVP of today's show, you get to pick the beers that I'm getting for our Thursday night show, the season opener, Cowboys, Eagles, and you already know, I'm going to be rooting for Philadelphia because my wife's a Cowboys fan. Let's go to Mario. What up, Mario? Raiders football is back. Let's freaking go, Raiders. Come on, Mario. I know I'm fired up, too. Let's go to my man, Sergeant Fighter. What up, Fighter? Shout out to my little girl, Leia. I'm so proud of her. Yesterday, she got a job at Old Tucson Studios. Very excited. Congrats, Leia. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Semper Fi. I mean, I think at the end of the day, when parents get excited for their kids, I think it's awesome. I know my dad, he still gets hyped up when you guys do some crazy shit on this show. Like the other day when Raider Ron went absolute nuclear and ends up going bang and bang, gong and gong. My dad called me up. He's like, that Raider Ron guy is insane. And, it's the truth where parents, I think, you're still rooting for your kid. I know, like me personally, I root for Chuck all the time. So, congratulations, to Leia, Sergeant Fighter. Keep on doing your thing, man. Let's go to this guy, and I'll tell you this right now. I can't wait to see this guy on Sunday. Josh McDaniels, so the guy who got rejected from school. It better not be from art school because I know of a guy. Art? Oh, I did not know. Sorry, I didn't even, did not. If that offended anyone, I'm sorry. I did not understand what it was. Okay, I got you. How many games will the Raiders win, Chuggs? We didn't get to ask you. Now, I know that you just left real quick to do the video on Davis Mills. Also, Steelers wide receiver Robert Woods asked for his release from the Steelers practice squad. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
I'm going to stick with my preseason prediction.
Okay.
I had the Raiders going, I want to make sure I'm right. Yep. I had them going 10-6-1 was my preseason prediction, and I'm going to stick to it. 10-6-1.
10-6-1.
Yep.
Interesting. I mean, I would love for that to happen. I will say this, my record prediction has changed. I know when I first did my Raiders show about how many games I thought this team was going to win, I gave them a 10-7 record. That was back in May. My record now has changed for the Las Vegas Raiders, and I want to be very clear on that. To Chichito, I never got entered on the duck race Friday. I don't know what that means because I do know this. Every person was on the duck race from Friday, so I don't know if you're talking like Venmo or, what you're sending in a super chat for. Maybe give me a little bit more information. Maybe give me your first and last name, and that way I can show you that on Friday you were in the duck race. So just give me a little bit more information that I never got entered in the duck race Friday. But
RJ Cool says, if the Raiders and Chiefs tie, I'm flying out to y'all.
It's I'll tell you this right now. If there are more people that would love to be able to come watch a game with Jeremy and I, if you're in the Dallas area, I mean, there's going to be opportunities where we're going to be able to do that. We're going to have a lot more studio space. You guys are more than welcome to hang out over here in the chair, hang out over here on the couch. Obviously, it's a game day, but I would love to be able to do something like that going forward. Today's Super Chat deals, and I did mention it earlier when I had my guy Cullen in. If you want a chance to win a signed Ashton Genty helmet, $5 Super Chat to get in that raffle. $20 Venmo to get in the duck race, and right now we already got a few people in that duck race. $100 is a bang. No bangs yet in the month of September, so if you're trying to lead that September bang race, let's get it going. And whoever the MVP is of today's show, whoever bangs the most, you get to pick the beers that I'm drinking on Thursday. Now, again, we'll get at least a six-pack of it. If the six-pack is available, I'm going to go get it. And if the six-pack isn't available, I will at least try to find another beer or what have you that you guys are comfortable with. So, to the people that are getting in the duck race, I'm looking at a few right now. I am seeing Jose Magos. I got you in. I see Soldier Man. Got you in. Rob Fravor, you in. And then Victor Lobos is also in. So Victor, Rob, Soldier Man, and Jose. Right now, $20 Venmo. You're in for a shot to win $40 here on today's program. But to the 653 people that are tuned in, not a lot has happened today around the Raiders, but we can at least talk about some of the rumors that at least transpired over the last 24 to 48 hours. And I'm going to talk about Amari Cooper. We're going to talk about Dante Thornton. I think we got to talk about, some of the comments that Tom Brady actually said. And we're going to talk about Jakobi Meyers today. A lot of receiver room rumors, so be on the lookout for that. Let's go to Marco. What up, Marco? Thank you, fellas, for helping me keep up to date with Raiders news. Marco, I appreciate that. That's why I want you all to subscribe to the show. Right? At the end of the day, I know people are busy, and I know that not everybody's going to have the ability to tune into every show that we do, but I promise you this. If you subscribe to the Raiders Report, you're going to know the real news, and you're not going to fall for, we'll call it the fake news.
Fake news.
Because I was on Facebook the other day, and it's such a cluster.
Oh.
There's all this shit that just gets posted on Facebook
Facebook is
anymore.
the worst with that, and I hate it because my mom uses Facebook the most. And she'll come to me and she'll be like, I swear, J.J. Watt is returning to the Texans. And I'll be like, Mom, I promise you I cover this team every day. He's not.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of I'll get screenshots from people on Instagram and be like, why didn't you talk about this today? And it's like, the Raiders traded for Joe Burrow and 3 first-round picks. And I'm like, 1, I can't believe you fell for it. 2, if I don't talk about it, it didn't happen, right? And I'm not saying that I have all sources. That's not true. I'm just, with the amount of information that's out there to the general public, if I don't talk about it, it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Then that's just kind of, that's the truth. No matter how big, no matter how small, if it happens around the Raiders, you'll get a video from it here on this channel.
We try to do one thing and one thing only at this channel. Try to be transparent.
We try to be transparent. Who you got? Eagles, Cowboys, the home opener. Dude, it's so weird being up here and knowing that we get actual football this week.
2 days.
Not that I wasn't looking forward to today's show, don't get me wrong, but I'm just so focused on Thursday. I'm so focused on Raiders game day that today I was like, let's get this Tuesday going a little bit. Let's get Wednesday going here a little bit because we were all kind of spoiled from the amount of college football that we were able to watch over the weekend. At least I was. I watched Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? There was at least something to tune into.
Oh, my wife last night, she was like, you want to watch our show? And I was like, oh, well, TCU North Carolina's on. And she was like, more football?
Oh, I can't imagine. I got lucky because Alex is away this weekend.
I was like, Saturday there's football. And then Sunday came up and I was like, babe, there's also football on Sunday. And then Monday rolls around and I'm like, there's also college football on Monday.
Yeah, you're not gonna like this one. Which also that created a whole nother story. I was talking to my dad about Chapel Bill this morning, and I was like, yeah, his girlfriend, blah blah blah, like the storylines. My dad's like, he had no idea what her age was, I guess. So I had to tell my dad, and he's like, that's crazy. The North Carolina team looked like a team that was very, very much so unprepared. But that's a whole different story. Are you going to go with the Eagles in this game? Are we all in agreement? We're rooting for Philadelphia up against the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday.
I'm team tie.
Your team tie?
Give me first game of the year. Give me a tie.
I do have Saquon Barkley in a bunch of my leagues, so
it'd be great for that.
It'd be phenomenal. I got Saquon, which Nabman, you're going down by the way.
Watch parties would be going off.
Oh,
Week 1 tie.
Week 1 tie would be diabolical. Though I do see a lot, and I mean a lot of E's down there below from King Shaw, Larry, Cali Raider, Stephen Ford, Delroy Rogers. Lot of E's down below.
I'm looking at the comment section, and it's Yee's!
Let's talk about Thursday night MVP, because I know last year, whoever was the MVP of Thursday night, you got to pick whatever ridiculous outfit I had to wear, had to walk home. Well, now we just got a bunch of ridiculous outfits here at the studio. What I want to be able to do this year, and again, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your notifications are turned on. If you're planning on hanging out and watching a watch party, there's nobody on the planet that does watch parties the way Chat Sports does, and there's nobody that does Thursday Night Football the way that Jeremy and I do. We're going to have some drinks. We're going to let our hair down. We're going to get after it, right? Like, we're going to have a lot of fun. But I also want to be able to give you guys more opportunities to have an influence on, some of the things that we're doing. So let's say Thursday Night Football, Eagles, Cowboys. Whoever is the MVP of that show next Thursday, when we go live for the next Thursday Night Football show, you get to pick what we're drinking. And in my mind, I'm like, if you're sitting at home and you're like, hey, I'm drinking, I don't know, Milwaukee's Best, and I want Mitch to drink Milwaukee's Best, I'll drink Milwaukee's Best. If there's a certain beer that's like, special to your area, give me the beer name. I'll go see if I can find it, because there's a Specs, and they have all these different types of beer options, and I'll try to get something very, very close to that. If you want, me to try a certain game day food, Chuggs was saying, like, if on a game day you're like, dude, you need to go to In-N-Out and get the burger and get the green chilies, we will do that, and we will have an honest food review for you on that show, and then a 60-second clip. The 60-second clip is going to be you, the viewer, telling Jeremy and I, the audience, Raider Nation, about what you think of the upcoming game. And we'll play that on Thursday. Also, if you're an MVP and you're down to have a beer or two with us during that Thursday night live stream, you're going to be the first person that I call on, right? Like, if it's, let's say, Patrick Roche, and Patrick Roche is the MVP, and Roche is, like, down for 6, 7 beer bongs or whatever on Thursday, I'm going to get on that phone call, and I'm going to FaceTime you. You get first come, first serve. That's going to how it's be.
Wild ones, like, do they make the world's spiciest beer?
Oh, which actually, speaking of that, I was supposed to probably do that chip. And I was probably I was so banged up on that Friday show. I do still owe you guys that chip, which, you know what? I think we're just going to do it on Thursday. We just got to do it on Thursday. Wild one, everybody watch him. I got you guys spiciest chip this upcoming Thursday. So be on the lookout.
So you think it's for sure Eagles over Cowboys?
I think it's for sure Eagles over Cowboys, and I think that's where mostly everybody watching this show is going to go. And that's kind of where Jeremy and I thought as well, because we had a real debate. Do we go live on Thursday for the season opener, or do we go live on Friday for Chiefs-Chargers? And I don't know about you. Like, I was kind of like, I'm not going to root for the Chiefs or the Chargers, where in this game, it's at least I get to root for the Eagles.
You can choose whatever drink you'd like, but I'm warning you, if you choose an alcohol, it's going to be very sparingly on Thursday. Well, so somebody said Malort.
What is that?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Well, I mean, you guys can pick whatever you want. And I mean that. I just don't get mad at me if I don't drink a lot of it. But you can pick whatever you want.
You've never had Malort?
I don't know what it is now.
Oh.
Is it like a vodka, or is it?
I don't even know how to describe it. It's gasoline fuel. Like,
I mean, again, if that's what you guys would want
I don't
me to
even know
do,
if it's safe for human consumption, Mitch.
Well, I would hope that whatever you guys give me is safe for human consumption.
It's so bad. Malort is probably one of my least favorite drinks.
See, it makes me think Soulja Man and Justine, extra duck races. I got you. I mean, like,
it's like if you took a bad vodka and you added a full tube of toothpaste to it and shuck it all up, and then you strained it, and it was just the alcohol.
I mean, is it like the jug that's like $7, $8, and it's in a plastic container? Because, like, for me growing up, it was called Vlad's. There's another one that's called... It
tastes like you mixed Crest, like, mouthwash with vodka.
Oh, boy. It's worse than that.
Yes.
Somebody said absinthe? What's it called?
Absinthe.
Absinthe? Yeah, I've had that.
Malort is like...
Everclear? No,
I think Malort invented the sound. The sound is. I think the first time I took a shot of Malort, I made that exact sound afterwards. It was.
I mean, there's definitely been a few of those days, but hey, you're the MVP of the show, and if that's what you want, that's what you get. And that's how the show's going to go.
If you're the MVP of today's show,
yes,
you pick our Thursday's beers.
You get to pick our Thursday's beers, which right now nobody has banged yet. The only way you're going to be an MVP on this show is if you bang. So I do want to be very clear on that. So right now, if somebody were to bang, you would be the person that would get to pick what beers we're drinking for a Thursday night show.
We'll let you send in a clip on how you're feeling about week 1.
Yeah. You just got to send it to us however you want to do it. I think probably the easiest way is to Chuggs. Just give him a follow at Jeremy Chuggs. You could also try, hit me up as well. Like, give me your Instagram name. Give me something along those lines, too, so that way I can be on the lookout for it. It's just my DMs. Sometimes it's just a little bit hard to come through everything that I got. So, all right, I want to get through the very first segment up here on today's program and to the 740 people that are tuned in right now. If you want to get your questions, your comments on the show, hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to skip the line. Mitch, you better prepare your bunghole for serious fire and pain. I mean, no context.
Are we still...
Are we? What are we talking about? The alcohol still? Or are you guys like, I see that you have that Jeremy Cole bullet just sitting by your desk.
I think he's talking about the chip.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the chip, I already know. The chip is awful, dude. Like, I mean, it is what it is. I've done it before. You just know it's going to suck really bad. It does really F up your stomach, but yeah, it's let's just say this. Nobody's going to want to come in last place of a duck race because you're not going to get what you want. You're not going to get what you want. That I can guarantee you. All right, let's get into the first segment here on today's show, and it's going to be around some of today's Raiders, some NFL news, just some stories that I saw over the weekend that I was set up here, and I go, I'd really want to have the opportunity to talk about those in greater length. Then my Raiders 2025 record prediction, and then my keys to victory against the New England Patriots. But the cool part about this segment is I also asked our Patriots host what the keys are against the Raiders, and I heard them, I listened to them, and I'm going to tell the Raiders how we're going to be able to fight against that because I don't want them to have any keys to victory, quite frankly. Oh, man. RJ Cole, Patrick B. Let's get into the first segment. Patrick B., I think that is a great option.
Type LV. Type LV if you're ready for the first segment.
Type LV if you're ready for week 1, dude. We're finally here. I'm so excited for football to be back because I'm so tired of talking about the what if. I'm so tired of talking about what's this team going to look like. It's time to put up or shut up. And for the Raiders, we've had opportunities all offseason long to help make our team better. And I don't agree with everything that we've done, but I do think this is a team that we're going to be proud of this upcoming season, and I hope that they prove that week 1 against the New England Patriots. A must-win game against Josh McDaniels. Tom Brady as well. A little bit of a homecoming for him. It's going to be interesting. You ready? All right, y'all. Let's get this one coming up right now. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, I'm just going to go through and look at some of the top trending Raiders rumors that I have seen recently out there on social media, out there that I've just seen in general. Now, I hope everybody had an amazing Labor Day weekend. I took advantage of it with watching a lot of college football, hanging out with my dog Chuck, and I know a lot of the stories that you're going to see today are going to be from probably over the weekend, but they're such big stories that I got to be able to give my 2 cents on it. If you didn't know that we're going to be live for Raiders up against the New England Patriots, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on those notifications. And this is crazy. We are 901 subs away from hitting 200,000. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that tune into this show. I think the family that we've been able to grow here is amazing. If you appreciate the free content that we provide, make sure you're subscribed. Because if we hit 200K before kickoff, this place is going to go flipping nuts. Let's go to the very first Raiders storyline that I want to talk about here, and it's around the rookie, Dante Thornton Jr., and is he going to be in a featured role with the Silver and Black? I'm going to give this one 3 just win babies, and I'm going to say that I think that it is pretty likely of what that featured role is going to be. Now, when you hear featured role, I don't want people to sit up here and go, oh, that means he's going to be a wide receiver 1. That's not what a featured role is. To me, in my mind, a featured role is the Raiders giving him a job, and his job is to do that job the best that they possibly can. The featured role of Dont'e Thornton is going to be field stretcher. And when he's on the field, that featured role is stretching the field, even if the ball's not coming his way, to be able to take the top off of a defense. That way it creates more space. That way Ashton Jeanty can run, which creates more space for our underneath receivers like Jakobi. I think Amari's going to be a little bit more underneath routes. Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Trey Tucker. There's going to be a lot of underneath routes, a lot of pre-snap motion. So for Dont'e Thornton, he's going to be able to stretch the field. But, let's also say this. He is going to be a big focal point of this offense. He is going to get targets. He's not just going to be used as a decoy. He is going to be a receiver that gets, in my personal opinion, the amount of opportunities that Amari Cooper is going to get, the amount of opportunities that Trey Tucker is going to get, the amount of opportunities that all of those players are going to get, because I know Jakobi Meyers is the number 2 target. Brock Bowers is the number 1 target. I do personally think that the number 3 target can be up for grabs with Trey Tucker, with Dont'e Thornton, and with Amari Cooper. The final receiver, Jack Besh, is the final receiver at that wide receiver 5 spot. But I want to know from all you, because I've been hearing a lot of featured role. But I want to know, how many receiving yards do you guys think Dont'e Thornton Jr. gets this upcoming season for the Las Vegas Raiders? You're going to give it the YouTube ad break. While that ad is playing, scrolling down to give me your answer. My answer coming up here in just a second. I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to go 560 receiving yards for Dont'e Thornton Jr. And some of you might hear that number and go, man, that's not much of a featured role. The featured role is him being a field stretcher, him being able to go out, block, do his job the proper way. But I also think this. Amari Cooper is going to be around that number. I think Trey Tucker going to be around that number. And for Brock Bowers, Jakobi Meyers, we expect those dudes to be up near the 900, 1,000, 1,200 receiving yards number. For the Raiders to have 5 receivers that I personally believe are going to be over 500 receiving yards, that's really, really difficult to scheme against if you're a defensive coordinator. But is Dont'e Thornton Jr. going to have a featured role? Yes, absolutely on this team. Let's go to the next story here. And this is one that I've been getting a bunch of questions around. Is Jakobi Meyers going to play this week against the New England Patriots? We know that there's a trade request out there. We know that he wants to get a brand new contract. And I'll say it like this. I did try to reach out to some people over the weekend. I didn't get a confirmed answer, so I do want to be very clear on that. But based on the conversations I had over the weekend, I fully anticipate Jakobi Meyers to play this week. And I'm going to give it 4 just win, babies. Believe it, baby. Jakobi's not the type of person to quit on his team. Jakobi's not the type of person that's not going to go out there and do his job. Him requesting a trade was more or less him trying to tell the Raiders, hey, man, I've done everything right. I just want you all to do right by me. And I can understand that there has been some questions around this because, you look at a lot of the other storylines around Trey Hendrickson, around Terry McLaurin. They were sitting out because they wanted to get paid and they were threatening to hold out. I have not gotten any indication from anybody that Jakobi Meyers is planning on sitting out, and I want to be clear that I am getting all my information here on Tuesday, September 2nd is the time you're hearing this. The information, the last time that I spoke with somebody of source, we'll call it, was on Saturday, right? We're going back a few days. Can things change? Absolutely. Can things change in the NFL? Absolutely. Can things change with Jakobi Meyers? Yes, absolutely. But I do want to be very clear. Jakobi still wants that new contract, whether it's a raise or whether it's a contract extension. If you want to go check out a video that I did, check out a thumbnail. It says win-win situation. It's a win situation for Jakobi. It's a win situation for the Raiders. And I will admit this is going to be something that continuously pops up until either the Raiders give him that contract or they don't. And if that contract does not happen, the number one name that you're going to be hearing about during Raiders trade rumors around the NFL trade deadline is going to be Jakobi Meyers. The good news, he plans on playing. The good news, I plan on having him on this team. The bad news is there is still a little bit of frustration, and I am somebody that believes where there's smoke, there's fire, and I do find it interesting that the Raiders signed Amari Cooper, and now there are rumors around a Dont'e Thornton Jr. featured role. all around the same time that Jakobi Meyers is asking for that contract situation. If you want to go check out the video that I was alluding to, here's the thumbnail. Even Pete said it's a great idea, and I honestly think it's a great idea as well. So if you want to go check that out, it's going to be down in the comments. It's going to be down in the description of today's show. Coming up next here, we're going to talk about some rumors on Amari Cooper. And I know how Raider Nation is. I love this team, but I also know sometimes, things get blown out of proportion just a little bit, and I'll talk about that Amari rumor here in just a moment. If you love the shirt that I'm rocking, I got it from Chubbies. Cool part is you can get it from Chubbies just like me. So are you ready for some football? If you're not, Chubbies is ready to help you with their NFL collection. Whether you're tailgating, grilling, or riding the highs and lows of the game from your couch, Chubbies has the officially licensed NFL gear to keep you looking like the ultimate fanatic. With bold designs featuring your favorite NFL teams, Chubbies game day gear isn't just comfortable, it's a statement. Rep your team's logos in wildly comfortable polos, wave-making swim trunks, and gym-ready mesh shorts. Yeah, you heard that right. Swim trunks with your favorite NFL team's logo on them. All the comfort and swagger you need to take over every touchdown dance, chest bump, or dramatic fourth quarter meltdown. If you're not a jersey guy, this is an elite alternate. You are a jersey fanatic, something tells me you're going to love their NFL collection. Because when you're invested in the game, your outfit should be too. So for a limited time, use our exclusive code ChatSports for $10 off at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. Yes, that includes the NFL collection. Let the thighs out and let the good times roll. And, man, would you look at that. Folks, for a limited time, our friends at Chubbies are giving our listeners $10 with the promo code ChatSports at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. That's $10 off your order with promo code ChatSports, and that includes the NFL collection. Support our show. Tell them that we sent you. Express yourself. Level up your game day wardrobe with Chubbies. So you guys are going to notice the shirt that I got on today and that I'm rocking is from Chubbies. And I've had a lot of people probably over the last, month or so, when you're seeing me wear these, this is, actually, it's so difficult to get wrinkly. But to me, I think about it how I am as a fan. I'm going to go out to Las Vegas. I don't take a suitcase. I take a backpack. When you have a shirt like this, I can literally just crumble it up, put it on the bottom of my backpack, and when I get it out, it looks good, and I'm ready to rock and roll. That's how I think, and I think that if you're somebody that thinks the exact same way, these shirts from Chubbies are an absolute game changer, and that link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments, down in the description of today's show. Let's go to the very next story here, and is this around Amari Cooper? And are there some concerns that he's out of shape? I'm going to give this one 2 just win, babies. I'm going to say people are talking. And when I say people are talking, there are some actual concerns around Amari being in shape. But I'll also say there are actual concerns that people just haven't seen Amari Cooper, right? There was a picture that went viral, and I don't know how many fans send me this exact picture of Amari Cooper, and he looks a little bit thicker, right? To me, he doesn't look like the same Amari that the Raiders once had. Do you know why? Because that was 6 years ago. Has he gotten a little bit thicker? Yes, absolutely he has. But this is also the Amari Cooper that has been on the field over the past year. This is the Amari that I was trying to tell all y'all about that, he's been kind of sitting around. I don't know how well in shape he is because there's a difference between being in game shape, really good shape, and then, not being in as good a shape. When I watch Amari Cooper run right now, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Deebo Samuel, where I know Deebo at one time was a really good player. I know Amari Cooper at one time was a very good player, but they do look a little bit thicker. And looking at some of the routes, in and out, some of the breaks, some of the notes that I've got around Amari, there is some concern that he might not be in his football shape as much as he should be right now, which definitely is a little bit of a concern. And, the numbers last season, they weren't great. And you're trying to build on those numbers, no doubt about it. But even in a year where he struggled, he was still over the 500 receiving yard number, which very, very important to do that. And I think the role that he's going to play for the Raiders, maybe it's not bad that he's bulked up a little bit. Maybe it's not bad that he's a little bit thicker. That way he's able to go out and lay some crisp blocks, able to go out and help a little bit more in the running game. But I do want to be clear. There is some concern with the Raiders organization around Amari Cooper. I'll also say it like this. This was a very much Pete Carroll move. Not saying that Spy Tech didn't sign off on the idea because those two are in agreement. You know, they are a marriage and they've worked very well together. But Pete Carroll going out and getting Amari, that was a Pete move. And it sounds like that's been something that's been on the works for months. Like, I'm talking all the way back in April, the Raiders and Amari Cooper were talking. So is he a little bit out of shape? Yes. I don't want to overly panic on it, but at the same time, I've also seen people overreact to players where they're like, oh, this guy's out of shape. And then he goes out there and has a great year. I can also remember sitting up here going, man, Zamir White looks like he's in great shape. And he didn't pan out to be all that great. Let's go to the final story here, and this is one that I even battled with myself mentally if I even wanted to talk about it, because I would say the number one thing that got DM'd to me over the weekend was this Tom Brady story. And Tom Brady didn't want the Raiders to draft Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to give this one 2 just win babies, and I'm going to say people are talking, but I don't know if people are talking about the right thing. And I bring that up because recently Tom Brady joined Chris Collinsworth, and he joined a podcast, and he was talking about, essentially what he looks for in a quarterback and what he was evaluating in terms of what is important for a quarterback from top to bottom. So I know that Shedeur Sanders is going to be a name that is just going to keep on getting brought up on this channel. I follow a lot of other chat sports teams here, and it's a name that gets brought up on every channel because of how polarizing of a person, how polarizing of a figure Shedeur Sanders is. The first reason, though, why I am giving this just 2 just win babies is because there was a tweet that, was out there on social media, and essentially it was, NFL fans are saying that Tom Brady and the Raiders did not draft Shedeur Sanders after Brady said this about quarterbacks. When a quarterback throws a touchdown pass, I actually watch to see who he goes and celebrates with. So if you listen to the whole interview, Brady just kind of illustrates what he thinks a quarterback is. And he talks a lot about leadership, talks about, how obviously they celebrate, but just talks a lot about what he thinks a NFL franchise quarterback is. And I do think there is a partly true statement that Brady didn't want the Raiders to draft Shedeur based on some of these off the field and, we'll be transparent, the character concerns around Shedeur Sanders. But I also know that there were concerns, like it wasn't just Tom Brady doesn't want the Raiders to draft Shedeur Sanders because of Shedeur Sanders. It was the Las Vegas Raiders really love Geno Smith, and the entire organization wants this fan base to rally behind a quarterback like Geno Smith. But I do want to be very clear. If there is one team and one person that did more homework on anybody, and I mean this, the Raiders did more homework on Shedeur Sanders than any other team in the National Football League. Tom Brady has been working side by side with Shedeur for a long time. And, they were even saying that, they texted after games and they talked all the time. I don't want people to think that Tom Brady's flat out calling out Shedeur Sanders because that's not what happened, right? The story's been kind of, I don't know, it's been twisted in a sense of Tom Brady never said, I didn't want Shedeur Sanders. Tom Brady said X, Y, Z, and now people are going, oh, that's why the Raiders didn't want to go out and draft Shedeur Sanders. That part is actually not 100% true. Did it go into it? Yes, a little bit. But I think it has more to do with Geno Smith and this organization buying into Geno Smith. That's the biggest reason why they didn't draft Shedeur Sanders. Not that Tom Brady didn't like Shedeur because of the way that he celebrated. And I wanted to put that out there because I think that both things can be true. I think, multiple stories always get thrown out there. But Tom Brady still has a lot of respect for Shedeur Sanders. Tom Brady still likes Shedeur. But the biggest reason why the Raiders did not draft Shedeur, it's because they knew what they had in Geno was solid. They didn't want to have, all the off-the-field drama with Shedeur. And I think realistically, they didn't think Shedeur Sanders was all that good of a quarterback. And I don't really think that I blame them very much for saying that. If you don't know this, we are going to be live 2 times this week. Eagles-Cowboys starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. So this game gets kicked off at 8:20 Eastern time. What we like to do is we like to go live a little bit earlier. We do some Raiders segments, and then about 15 minutes before kickoff, we dedicate Eagles-Cowboys. So that's what's going to be on Thursday. For actual game day, Raiders-Patriots this Sunday. I can't even flip and wait, man. We're going to be going live at noon Eastern time. This is 1 hour before kickoff. So make sure you're subscribed and make sure those notifications are turned on. will Shedeur be the Browns starting quarterback at the end of the year? All I really care about is, will he be the Browns starting quarterback week, is it 12 or 13? I think it's week 13 when the Raiders and Browns play. I mean, I'll say this. I believe at some point,
here we go,
Shedeur Sanders will be the starter for that team. Because I just don't think that the Browns are going to be winning football games.
I mean, you can't just waste a 5th-round pick.
Well, I don't. You can. Right? I mean, you absolutely can. I mean, if Joe Flacco is going out there and he's clearly gives them a shot to win every week, the answer to this is going to be no. If the Browns are as bad as what I think the Browns are going to be, I think at some point you're going to see Dylan Gabriel. I think at some point you're going to see Shedeur Sanders.
If I had 3 wishes from a genie, obviously one of them would be for more wishes. But one of the other wishes would be that Shedeur Sanders' first start of the year is week 13.
Oh, my God. I mean, I might not even go live. I might just watch the game at home. That's how big of a deal that would be. No, I can't imagine, right? And I do honestly believe that at some point this season, Shedeur Sanders will start a game for the Browns. And I don't know if it's going to be from a to shut everybody up standpoint, because I think it's going to go very similar to the way, like an Aiden O'Connell start would go, a Desmond Ridder start would go. Like, I think fans are going to be clamoring for it. I think fans are going to be like, I want this to happen. And then it happens, and you're like, maybe that was a bad idea. Because, again, Shedeur's young, and I'm not saying Shedeur's going to have a bad NFL career. I don't know how it's going to go. I just don't think he's good right now.
I don't want that. Random garbage QBs go nuclear against us.
Well,
Andy Dalton, you did call it, by the way.
I remember doing a segment of Andy Dalton starting against the Raiders is like bad news for us. I got ripped, and I was like, I'm telling you right now, it's bad news. It's bad news.
It was, in fact.
I mean, because what happens is you get tape, and then you can't use that tape that you've had for the whole year, so you're kind of going into the game blind tape. And the only guy that I know that does well with blind tape is Jamarcus
Tyson Bagent.
Tyson Bagent was another one. That stung. I mean, if we're going to play the game, how many backup quarterbacks have beaten the Raiders recently? It's not a good list, I'll tell you that. It's not a good list.
I would consider Brock Osweiler a backup quarterback.
LGL Studios, careful what you wish for. You're not wrong. From the what we do standpoint, like the amount of eyeballs that would be on this watch party if Shedeur Sanders were to start that first game, I already know. Like, we're getting 200,000 people that are going to watch. But from the Raiders winning standpoint, you're not wrong. I think it could hurt them.
I won't get in trouble at all during that stream.
Yeah. No chance Week 13 is ever going to come back and bite us in the butt. Let's go to Mo, flying out to Boston Friday. Happy the season is here. Put me in for the Genty helmet. You in. How many people are going up to Boston? How many people are going up to Boston? Who's shipping up to Boston? Give me a Y for yes, and then for no. Are you shipping up to Boston for week 1? If you've never been there, it's a very interesting stadium, middle of absolute nowhere.
You saw
Coldplay. Oh, yeah.
With
my CEO. No, I'm just kidding. No, my cousin was in town. I mean, that's before I even was working here at Chat Sports. That's a 2017 concert.
Back when Mitch was getting stopped daily thinking that he was Julian Edelman.
I would say when I lived in Boston.
Did you ever take a picture with somebody?
Yes, but not for Julian Edelman, for Danny Amendola. There was one day for the St. Patrick's Day. Again, they did it pretty big out there, but everybody wears something very similar. I didn't really have anything to wear, so my cousin just got me this like random St. Patrick's Day green T-shirt, and it was too big on me. Like, it was like noticeably big on me, but I thought I looked kind of bigger. So people were like, "Is that Julian or is that Danny Amendola?" The one guy came up to me because at the time I had basically the shorter facial hair. I was definitely skinny, but I had like the comb over look. I had multiple people come up to me about Edelman, but again, like I understand the facial construction that I look like Edelman, but like if you were to see like body for body, he is twice the size of me. I mean, when I met Edelman out in Vegas, I mean, I don't know if you remember that one day we were recording. I think we were recording with Marquette King that day. And Edelman walked by, and he was looking, like, through the glass. I don't know if you remember that.
It was
one.
like a mirror on both sides. You and him were like this.
Yeah. Total Spider-Man meme, though. It was like baby Spider-Man and adult Spider-Man. But, Mo, hey, man, rock your silver and black to the best of the ability. I would try to black out New England. If you want a good spot to go to, in all honesty, I did live there for 8 months, so obviously I'm very well rehearsed in my Boston stuff. Mike's Pastries. If you're a man that likes a good cannoli, cash only, Mike's Pastries, best cannoli spot. I think it's one of the most popular best cannoli spots in all of the United States. There's going to be a line out the door. Don't worry about it. They're a well-oiled machine, and you can get hundreds of different kinds of cannolis. I don't know, dude. It's so good. You got to go out and try it. You got to recommend it. Got to go try it, man. All right, so what is the biggest matchup you're watching for in the Raiders game up against the New England Patriots on Sunday? Is there a certain matchup where you're going, that's something that we got to take advantage of? Like, for me, I'm going to go, I think a matchup, if, like, you're looking at Prize Picks, let's say, right, and you want to go more or less on Maxx Crosby sacks, I would go whatever the more is for Crosby sacks, I would take the more on it because he's going to go up against their right tackle, Morgan Moses. Where Malcolm Kuntz, I don't know if I would go on the more because he's going to be going up against Will Campbell. Though, that actually matchup could be interesting because Will Campbell's got dinosaur T-Rex arms and Malcolm's a little bit quick to swoop under.
Yeah, it
could be one to look at.
It's going to be a very interesting one because the Patriots last year had a bottom 5 offensive line. 3 of the guys who were starting for them are out going into this year. They have, I think the only returning starters, I believe, are Jared Wilson and Mike Onwenu. They have a new center in Garrett Bradbury, new right tackle in Morgan Moses, new left tackle, first-round pick Will Campbell. They have 3 new guys on their offensive line, tackles and the center spot. Will you be able to take advantage of that? Because last year, in terms of pass protection, the Patriots were ranked 31st.
Yep. I mean,
not good, Jim.
That's going to be a matchup. I think, Stephon Diggs today, Mike Vrabel was talking about, he was like, I hope Stephon Diggs is able to go week 1. That's Eric Stokes up against Stephon Diggs. Like, that's a big matchup. I think another matchup really to watch for is how Josh McDaniels uses Hunter Henry and even Trevion Henderson, because when we talk to our Patriots guy, they're using Trevion Henderson as, like, the pass-catching back. I don't want to say, like, the Amir Abdullah rule for the Raiders, but I don't even think saying, like, the James White rule is the correct way either for the New England backfield because Henderson is a much better runner between the tackles than James White was. Maybe the Dion Lewis, it's kind of an older name. I might throw out that one a little bit, but he's somebody that Trevion Henderson's going to be able to run between the tackles but also catch the football. And I believe that our linebackers and our inability to cover, and just because McDaniels just targets the center of the field as often as what he does, running backs and Henderson and Hunter Henry against our linebacker crew, that's going to be a big one to watch as well. No doubt. I also have one around Christian Gonzalez that I'm going to save for my segment because there's something that if I was the Raiders, I would do to put Christian Gonzalez in a really bad situation. He's their best defender. That's the guy I'm going to go after. And I'll tell you why here in a little bit. Marco says Geno versus Robert Spillane. I'm thinking Ashton Genty against Robert Spillane. What up, Rob? Ian, my son would be excited for a Genty helmet. I mean, this would be sick on anybody's man cave.
Be careful where you're putting your hand.
I mean, it's Sharpie, but yeah, no, you're right. I don't want to smudge it. Imagine. Oh, my God, I would throw up. It's like, don't worry, guys. I'll just rewrite it. It's totally fine. Totally fine. I mean, somebody's going to go home with an Ashton Genty helmet, and it's going to be pretty freaking sick, man. Shout out again to John Fallon for hooking up the nation.
Absolute real one.
Absolute flipping real one.
It is wild, though. It is going to be a very early kickoff for Raider fans on the West Coast. I already saw somebody saying Raiders Report and Menudo Sunday morning.
What is Menudo?
That Mexican soup.
Oh, yep. Menudo is usually what Alex eats when she's sick.
Let me know. What are you going to be eating for week 1 game day? I know on the West Coast, it'll be what, 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
10 a.m. kickoff?
Oh, man, we might have to have some mimosas. We're going to have some stuff, man. My jitters are already week 1 game, I feel like I'm playing. Like the week 1 game, when I walk to work, I feel like I'm getting ready to go to war. Like I feel like I'm getting ready for that week 1 game. And I mean, like, let's face it, this is a huge game for the Raiders because and I get every week 1 game is a big game, but at the same time, you got the Chargers week 2, the Commanders week 3, Bears week 4. Those are all 4 teams that I could paint a picture of them making the playoffs.
A lot of wings, a lot of burgers. I see some burrito tacos. I see some breakfast tacos.
Ooh.
Breakfast tacos might hit. I haven't actually ordered our food for this weekend yet.
Breakfast tacos might actually be the way to go. I'm in. I'm freaking in on the breakfast tacos.
A lot of Wingstop love.
See, Wingstop's really good. I think Wingstop's better on a Thursday night.
Yeah, wings are definitely a night food. Like midday.
I don't really want to eat wings at 10 a.m. Because for me, I'm also thinking about it like I'm going to be live. If I'm live at noon, if I'm live at noon Eastern, that means I got to eat at least an hour before I get on this show, just so Mother Nature can do its business.
Yeah.
You guys get it. You guys get it. Let's go to Raider Rob Chuggs. Put me in your Genty helmet drawing.
In.
Weird game, us versus McDummy and the Raidriots. Both teams have insiders on both sides. Will we ever get a vet cornerback? I mean, you're right. There are a lot of storylines here. I look at it as the very first name that was ever given to me that the Raiders were interested in as head coach, Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel obviously went to New England. Tom Brady and Vrabel were very, very close. That's storyline number 1.
Also, it is to be known that the Patriots moved fast on Mike Vrabel. I think it was right after their final game. They immediately fired
Gerard Mayo.
And then I think later that week.
Yeah, I mean, it was instantaneous. You knew what route that organization was going. You have the Tom Brady, obviously going back to New England, the statue's there, but also now he's the owner of the Raiders. You have Josh McDaniels. He's going to be looking for his revenge, no doubt about it. Here's another one that's kind of often forgot. Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was the head coach of the New England Patriots, right? Like, there are so many different storylines.
Back in the 40s, right?
Probably. Yeah, I think Pete was about 70 back in the 40s. No, I mean, like, there are a lot of different storylines around this game, and, I think both teams are equally matched. Both teams are kind of up in the air of what this season could be. Like, I could see the Patriots winning 6 games. You also know how much I love Drake May. I could see the Patriots winning 10 games. I could see the Raiders winning 6 games. I could also see the Raiders winning 10 games.
I said this, and Mitch and our Patriots guy both kind of nodded in agreement. This might be the earliest loser leaves town game in NFL history. I think either way, whichever team loses, is going to be a massive overreaction on how bad that team is. If the Raiders lose week 1, I already know all of y'all will be in the comments, here we go again, another Raiders season with this, that, and the other. If you're the Patriots, you lose to the Raiders week 1, you go, oh my God, do we actually suck?
Yeah, I mean, I actually fully agree with Chuggs on this take, and I know that Geno is better indoors. This game makes me nervous. Like, it does really, truly make me nervous because the elements, when I say elements, outdoor. I mean, when you look at the historical data of Geno Smith outdoors and indoors, 2 totally different quarterbacks. Indoors, he is an elite, without question, a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Outdoors, without question, not a top 20 quarterback in the NFL.
And I'll say this. Why for yes and for no in the comment section? If the Raiders lose, will you be freaking out after week 1? Why for yes and for no? Will you be freaking out if the Raiders lose week 1 up against the Patriots?
If they win or lose, I mean, there's going to be an overreaction on both ends, right? Like, I think both can be true. There will be an overreaction, but I also think it's how does the team look? And for me personally, I get angry where if the Raiders come out week 1 and their secondary just gets absolutely exposed, And, like, to me, that's going to be a frustrating thing because I'm going to sit up here. Y'all are going to sit there and go, well, I'm not surprised by this happening. Why did it look – if they're like, oh, well, we didn't know. We were trusting the secondary, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to sit up here and go, you had months to figure it out. Like, that's where I'll get a little bit more angry. But no matter what, week 1 is about the overreaction.
Steve Martin Short said, I would just say typical Raiders if we lose. I think that would be – I think we would be getting, this again.
I hope not, dude. I really hope not. Let's go to my man, Mount Raider more. Patrick B., do you think this regime wants to see Jakobi play a few weeks to make a decision on keeping him in Vegas? Potentially. Like, I don't blame this current regime for wanting to see how Jakobi Meyers, is this upcoming season. I don't blame them at all for that. I guess my only problem is, though, like, you traded for Geno Smith. You've already made an investment in Geno Smith. My problem is when teams make an investment and it's the quarterback position. There's nothing else more important than the Raiders did this entire offseason. I mean, I love Maxx Crosby. Geno Smith trade is more impactful. I love drafting Genty at number 6. Geno Smith is going to make a bigger impact on this team than Ashton Genty, right? Like, there's just nothing that's going to happen that's going to impact this team more than Geno. So to ensure that the investment that you made, because essentially if Geno struggles, Pete Carroll and them, they're going to be out the door. If Geno's great, they're going to be like, oh, this was a great thing that they should do. You invested in Geno Smith, so to make sure that investment pays off, you should do everything in your power to make sure that it pays off. To me, that's giving Jakobi either a 1-year raise or giving him an extension because you already tied down his left tackle. And, I think if Geno were to leave, this team that offense now goes from being really good, elite almost, to being a little bit above average. And with our defense, we need to have an elite offense.
Would you be more mad if it was a close loss or a tie?
More mad? Close loss. I'd rather have a tie than a loss. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be the ultimate victory lap for you. But I can take a slice of Jeremy Chuggs' victory lap.
Would y'all be mad if it was a tie week 1 up against the Patriots?
I wouldn't love it. I wouldn't love it. I'll tell you that.
That'd be great.
But a tie or a loss, yeah, I'll take a tie every day of the week.
Hell yeah.
He says, hell yeah. Let's go to Plagius. Jakobi versus Pats or Adunze versus Vikings in my flex. All right, I like this fantasy football question. Oh, boy. There's a part of me where I think Rome Odunze is one of the most underappreciated players in fantasy football because the way Ben Johnson utilized Amon-Ra St. Brown more in the slot, he was great in Detroit. I think Rome Odunze is going to be playing I think similar type role. I know they have DJ Moore, but if you're in a PPR league, I'll say Jakobi Meyers. If you're looking for more upside, I'll go Rome Odunze. And I just think sometimes McDaniels and like that whole New England regime, Mike Vrabel, they all kind of subscribe to the idea that Bill Belichick used to do where he was like, what do you do really well? Now I'm going to try to take it away. And Jakobi is somebody that I could see this team trying to take away. They're like, all right, I know how he's going to operate. I know he's going to go out there. He's going to do his thing. But I'm going to go Jakobi Meyers PPR, standard. I'll go Rome Odunze.
Standard.
What up, Big Mitch? It's Big Al. What up, brother? We beat the Patriots unless they're filming us. Genty helmet would be on display in Chiefs territory.
Big Al, the stage 4 cancer annihilator.
I actually love that. Again, Big Al, you should be super proud of yourself. I would love to see you have the Genty helmet in Chiefs country, but also at the same time, New England's a good team, right? And I think they are an up-and-coming team. I am a big fan of Drake May. I do think that their offense is not nearly as potent as ours, but I do think that their defense is better than ours overall, and I think that this is going to be a very, very much close game. there aren't too many true coin flip games where, if you flip the coin 10 times, like I think if the Raiders and Patriots play 10 times, Raiders win 5 of those games, the Patriots win 5 of those games. And I think that they are both very, very equally matched, and they're both going to be playing for their first-time head coaches. Let's go to Drama. What up, Drama? Put me in for that Genty helmet. I'll be watching from San Diego, California. Chicken and waffles. Where do you get your chicken and waffles from?
Roscoe's.
Who?
Roscoe's.
Roscoe's? Is it? One of the places I went to in San Diego, I'm trying to think of the name. It was like
San Diego.
It was like a rooster or a chicken was the logo. Long line, very, very good. I haven't been to San Diego in a long time, but dude, the food in San Diego, unbelievable. What up, Ike? If the Cowgirls end up having a fire sale, would you make an offer for Diggs? If so, what would it be? That Genty helmet is mine. Hey, good luck to you. Trevon Diggs I like, okay? I do think he's actually one of the more overrated cornerbacks in the NFL. I will warn you, for a team that doesn't want to bring in divas, Trevon Diggs is, you think it's fair to say he's very well known for being kind of a diva?
Yeah.
Like, and again, like we live down here in Dallas, we hear a little bit more stuff, but like Trevon Diggs is the type of player that he would quit on a team if, you traded away his buddy. And to me, I'll say, depending on what that fire sale is, if it's a fire sale, I'm always interested, but I'd rather go out and sign a Stephon Gilmore on a 1-year prove-it deal. Like, and do I think Diggs is better than Gilmore right now? Probably. But I also don't have to give up any draft capital for Stephon Gilmore. And, to me at this point, like you're going to have to give up quite a bit to go get Trevon Diggs. I want to be able to build for the future. I don't think the Raiders are a Trevon Diggs away from winning the Super Bowl. So because of that, I would rather invest my money in Stephon Gilmore, save my draft capital, and keep on building for the future. Let's go to Landscaper. I sent a Venmo for Duck Race. Can you confirm, please? I will do my best. So right now, the people that I see in the Duck Race are Jose Mago, Soldier Man, Rob Fravor, Victor Lobos, Justin Gonzalez, Soldier Man again, Felix Gonzalez, Darth Fatass, and then Gary Backus. Right now, it is a $20 Venmo. You would go home with $90 here on today's program. Reminder, if you are the MVP of today's program, so whoever bangs the most, you get to pick what beers we're drinking on Thursday. I know we haven't had anyone bang yet. We don't have any bangs in the month of September. Today is my first live show, but today's going to be an opportunity for you to be number 1 in our leaderboard on September and pick the drinks, pick whatever we're doing on Thursday.
And you get to send in a video.
Yes.
For every Thursday night this year.
Yep.
The Thursday night MVP. So this would be our Thursday night MVP for going into week 1 because we don't have a Thursday night before.
Correct.
You get to pick what we're drinking.
Yep.
Pick what game day food me and Mitch order on DoorDash.
Yeah, so I'll get the beer, I'll get the drinking stuff. Chuggs is going to get the game day food because Chuggs does all the food stuff. But the idea is, on a Thursday, we're kind of hanging out, we're talking about the game, and I know a lot of people are grubbing with us, and, I want someone to be like, you know what, I love eating this on a game day. I would love to know what Mitch and Chuggs think about that food.
We have to be able to order it here to the office, though. So if you want to maybe look on DoorDash for Dallas or just see what food is around here, we have most fast food, but just let us know. Never had Culver's.
Yeah. And again, if somebody's like, I want you to get a filet mignon, I also don't eat that stuff on game day. It's like game day food. I wouldn't be opposed to it either, but at the same time, I don't think they're going to be
you'd have to be a pretty lofty MVP to be asking for filet mignon.
Very, very lofty MVP. And then one of the things that, again, I love when people FaceTime, they chug a beer with me, but then also they give their opinion. If whoever the MVP is, you send in a 60-second clip of your thoughts, we'll be able to put it up here on the show. And if it's good enough, I'd actually like to be able to use it as a short. Be like, Raider fan thinks this of upcoming game, right? I want this channel to be more about the nation. I want y'all to have more of a face than just Jeremy and I. And this is going to be a year where we're able to do a lot of that type of stuff. So just keep that in the back of your mind if you don't already know. Let's go to CC Mitchell, which I love. This name is hilarious to me. The Raiders need to finish the story and play the 49ers in Super Bowl 60. I mean, a Raiders 49ers Super Bowl, for what we do here at Chat Sports, the only thing that could be bigger is a Raiders Cowboys Super Bowl. But I don't care who they play. If the Raiders are in the Super Bowl, I don't care who they play. Finish the storyline. You know, I guess my only fear is playing the Niners.
That's a WWE joke.
Finish the storyline.
Like, the whole thing was they wanted Cody Rhodes to win the championship. They're like, finish the story.
Oh. I did see a crazy picture of The Rock. He looks like he's been eating Zins and only Zins.
Wow.
He's lost a lot of weight. I also saw a crazy story from the one female wrestler that you always talk about on this show. Apparently, she got, bombarded by a bunch of fans. And
Rhea Ripley?
That's why, she's got security now. I don't remember. She's got black hair. I don't remember.
Oh, that's Rhea.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. The story I saw was kind of wild.
Not that I would know.
Jeremy's like, it totally wasn't me. What up, Busta? Mitch, section 136 behind the Raiders, game 1. I want to make a sign for you. What do you want it to say? Raider Nation and Patriots country. Love you guys here in Massachusetts. How close are you to Saugus? That's where I used to live. I mean, I don't want it. I don't want to pick what it's going to say. I also don't want to get you in trouble.
I'll
right?
pick it.
Jeremy, what do you got?
Mitch and Chuggs, greater than sign, Josh McDaniels.
I mean, I don't see why that sign wouldn't get allowed in.
Or you do this. If you want to make it on the Raiders Report, Busta, this is what I need you to do. Get a picture of Josh McDaniels, just his head, like a head, like a fat head kind of thing that you could get from Kinko's, Copy, whatever. Get his head, cut out the mouth, and then somebody else, whoever you're with, needs to bring in a cutout of corn. And what I need you to do is stick the corn in Josh McDaniels' mouth, his wide open gullet. If you can do that, I mean,
I'll tell
legend.
You, there's nothing that would make me happier
if
besides
you can
the
get
Raiders win.
Josh McDaniels' head, cut out the mouth, and then get a cutout of a piece of corn and shove the corn in his mouth. Yes.
Can you wait? Is corn available at Gillette Stadium? Hang on. Yes, corn such as cornbread and popcorn.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, worst case, maybe we just get a hot dog.
Busta said, "Oh, hot dog would be hilarious too."
The long way.
He said, "Love the fathead idea. Wife is a huge Patriots fan. I'm gonna try anyways."
I want you to do the best you can, man. I appreciate you even asking. I mean, if somebody sees the sign,
no pressure.
If somebody sees the sign, send us a picture of it. I personally would love to see it. Obviously, if you give the Raiders Report a shout-out in any way, again, I would love to see it. Let's go to Felix. What up, man? I won in on the Genty helmet and go Raiders. Well, luckily, you, sir, are in. Every $5 Super Chat, for those that do not know, in the entire month of September is a raffle entry for a shot to win a signed Ashton Genty Raiders helmet. Nico, how many Raiders did you draft in fantasy? I never gamble on the Raiders. Can't be losing twice out here. Brock and Genty are safe picks. So we did our Raiders Report fantasy football draft yesterday.
Mitch took 3 kickers.
Not quite. I will say this. I believe I am the person projected to score the most points in week 1, which obviously doesn't mean anything. Actually, that's not true. Now I see Ryan Soup is projected to score more than me. Cass Joey, Josh I.
Patrick,
Josh I is projected to score the most.
Anything over 5, every 5 that you send out. So you have 4 tickets now, Patrick B.
Yeah.
Also, Patrick be the MVP so far. So, Pat, right now, if today's show ended, Patrick would send us what beer and what food we need to eat on Thursday.
Yeah, Pat, if you're the MVP, if it's Mount Raider more, then we'll be good. But going forward, like, you got to at least bang to be an MVP. I actually don't have a single Raider on my team from our fantasy football draft.
Wow.
Well, this might surprise you. They went off the board a little earlier than they typically do, which I said to you today. I was like, there were a few Broncos players, Chiefs players, Chargers players. They slid down the board, and I was just kind of sitting back like, man, at some point, like, I might take that guy.
Amari on Hampton in the 12th.
But I think it was actually difficult for our draft because of a 14-team league. Like, if you wanted a guy, you had to be okay being like, I'm going to take him early. Like, for me, if I wanted somebody, I was like, either I'm going to take him now or I'm probably not going to get him because it's so long until, like, your next pickup. But I don't have a single Raiders player, and I hate it, quite frankly. I was going to take Ashton Genty. Somebody swiped in and took Genty right before I took. I forget
how many
who it was.
How many Chiefs players do you have?
I actually don't know if I have a single Chiefs player.
Chargers?
Looking. I don't have any Chiefs. I have one Chargers player, no Broncos.
Wow.
I know. I got Keenan Allen.
Oh, he grew up a Raiders fan, so it doesn't count.
Bingo. Stabler for president. One good thing. No more tuck rule because we got Tom Brady now. Honestly, Stable for president, you look like you would steal a giraffe from the zoo. You look like you would have a great time in Bangkok. You look like you might get hung over in Las Vegas. What up, Lewis, you nasty?
Lewis, you nasty.
You nasty, Lewis. Genty helmet. If D-line can get to May, that will decide the game. I think it's going to be a big part of the game. I don't want to get into, all of my keys to victory, if you will, up against New England. It's going to be a segment that I do here in, just we'll say about 30 minutes to an hour from now. But I do think it's good to get into our Raiders 2025 prediction video. And this is going to be, again, it's a little bit different than what I first did. I'll be honest with y'all. I actually have the Raiders winning less games now than what I did back in May. But that's only because I was hopeful back in May that they would address some of the things that, concern me. And I still have a lot of the same concerns that I did back in May. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has those concerns. So I am still going to go through. We're going to predict every single game. I'm going to show you how every single one ends up going down, give you my score prediction, my analysis on why each game goes the way that it does. But I like doing this. It's been a show that I've done every single year since running this program. What? Oh, what'd you drop? I can throw it away. Woo! All right. You ready?
Oh, actually, we do have one more super chat to get to.
We do have another one, and it's coming in from, what's up, Busta? What's up, Busta?
Just bust a move.
But also, I went back and I watched our beer pong mailbag. Interesting. Very
Could have used more questions, but.
Could have used more questions, no doubt, but a lot of beer ponging going on. What up, Busta? I definitely will be doing R14L and a shout-out to you and Chuggs. I absolutely love you guys. Look forward to it every day. I will do whatever I have to get a sign. I'm a real one for life. My only request is if you do real one for life, RO4L. RO4L. No?
Just when you first did it, when you said R, you were writing the O. So you were like RO4L.
So
It's like
O.
It's like when you see those stories of like the person who doesn't know sign language but somehow like got the sign language job and they're like on the sideline just doing crazy stuff.
I mean, there was that
person we talked about her. She got in trouble.
She was
like working. She got hired like by like a county clerk or whatever.
And she didn't know sign language.
Oh,
she was just up there.
They were doing a hurricane like alert, and she was on the side like.
Which I probably shouldn't be laughing at that because there were some very confused people, I'm sure, in the audience. But like, Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where most people probably don't check to see if that person's even doing their correct job. But I don't. That's wild. That's a whole other conversation.
Do you know sign language?
I know the alphabet. I know how to go to the bathroom.
J E.
Yep.
No, this is M.
Yeah.
J E. What's R?
R, I believe, is. This might be. Oh, wait. Maybe I don't know. Is this R? I think that's R. Could be S. Maybe that's R. I don't know. It's been a while.
Next segment. Here we go.
All right. Next segment coming up here next week. We'll do the full alphabet in sign language. We'll do the whole show in sign language next time. I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. You ready? It's Prize Picks on this one. Yes? Oh, yes. Which now that I'm looking at my script, I believe Rebel's watching. Rebel, are you here? Y for yes, N for no. If the answer to that is yes, I was told that it's time for you to go home. I mean, I don't even think I have to say who it's from. Marsha's just lingering outside the studio. All right, y'all. Let's talk about how this Las Vegas Raiders team is going to do this upcoming season. 69 from Reb. Never change, Reb. Never change. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Reporting. Coming up on today's show, my Raiders 2025 record prediction. I did this video back in May, and I'll be honest, I have a different opinion now than I did back then. If you want to go see the difference, you can go check it out on that video. But I love being able to do this show because you can kind of sit back and see how free agency went, how the draft went, how the entire offseason, May, June, July, and how this team has been constructed to the point we are right now. So this will be my final Raiders 2025 record prediction. I'm going to go through and tell you the scores of each game. I'm going to tell you which games the Raiders are winning and losing, and who knows, maybe they're going to make the playoffs this season. If you haven't done this yet, please make sure you do so, because when I do this segment, it means football season is here. Watching college football this past weekend was electric, man. I almost had to delete my history how much football I was freaking watching. But you know what? Raiders football is back. In preseason, it's cool. Madden Sim watch parties, they're cool. Hanging out with all y'all on a Friday happy hour, love it, and we do it all the time. But you know what? Raiders game day just hits differently. I'm literally getting chills right now talking about it. And if you're like me, you just can't wait, seriously, hit that like button. So quickly, we're going to roll through the Raiders 2025 schedule if you don't already know it. And the first 8 weeks of the season on the road against the New England Patriots, Monday Night Football against the Chargers, on the road against the Commanders, then back home against the Bears, on the road against Indianapolis, home against the Titans, and then on the road against Kansas City Chiefs, Week 8 bye. Then Week 9 at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Got to get ready for Broncos Thursday Night Football. Going to be a quick turnaround, but then get a little bit more time against Dallas Monday Night Football. Week 12, Cleveland Browns. Week 13, Chargers. Week 14, Broncos, Eagles, Texans, Giants, and Chiefs. As you can see, the ending to this schedule is a gauntlet, and the Raiders really need to make sure that they got a healthy roster. They got plenty of depth because they're going to need every single person. So I want y'all to plant your flag, and I want you to tell me right now, how many games do you think the Raiders are going to win? What is your record prediction for the Silver and Black this upcoming season? This will be the pinned comment on today's show, which means y'all are about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. While that ad is playing, I want you to scroll on down and give me your answer. My answer to this question, just so you know, is going to be at the very end of today's show. When you think about the Raiders 2025 record, I do want you to really think about how this team is constructed, offense, defense, and how we're going to end up finishing, because I'm hoping we finish with some FU football. Let's go to Week 1. It's against the New England Patriots, and it's the game that is literally this Sunday at the time that I'm recording this video. I'll admit, on the road, I'm a little bit nervous. Geno Smith is a lot different outdoors compared to him being indoors, and despite this being a home opener for New England. There's a lot of storylines. Josh McDaniels, Pete Carroll used to coach there. Mike Vrabel is a storyline, right? I mean, there's so many different storylines. But I'm going to go with the team that I think is the better overall team. And I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders to get a dub here, 31-24. I believe the Silver and Black have one of the best offenses in the National Football League. For New England, there's some injuries. Christian Gonzalez, don't know if he's going to be 100% healthy. Stephon Diggs, don't know if he's going to be 100% healthy. So because of that, and the Raiders at this current moment are 100% healthy, I think it's going to be a close one. I'm giving the nod to the Silver and Black, 31-24. So we are 1-0, marching into Week 2, Monday Night Football. It's a late one, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope that you guys are going to be awake, and I hope that you guys are going to be ready to really get this one rocking and rolling. So this is going to be, guess what, another very close game, and I'm going to end up going with the Las Vegas Raiders getting the dub over the Los Angeles Chargers. The Monday Night Football is the home opener. It's at Allegiant Stadium, and I'm hoping that we pack this thing from top to bottom with a lot of Silver and Black fans in it. I do know for the Chargers, they play the Chiefs Week 1. And because they play the Chiefs Week 1, I almost wonder if they're focusing so much on Kansas City that maybe that could be a big win. Because I saw a stat that was very interesting that Jim Harbaugh, in his first 5 season opening games, Jim Harbaugh's 5-0. The team that loses in the Super Bowl is, I believe it is 6-19 in the last 25 games. I think the Chargers are going to beat Kansas City in that first game, and I think they're going to be riding a little bit of a high, which gets ready for that letdown in Week 2 against the Raiders. So the Silver and Black are 2-0. Let's now go to Week 3 on the road against the Washington Commanders, one of the best teams in the NFL, and a young quarterback in Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden and that offense is going to be clicking, and I just think that overall team, with what they provide from a Terry McLaurin, a Zach Ertz, a passing standpoint, it's going to be tough for the Raiders to be able to hang with them, on top of the fact that they might make us a little bit one-dimensional if they get out to that early lead. And because I know we have some of our secondary woes, I'm going to go the Commanders get this win 34-21. When the Raiders can stay balanced and they can run it with Genty and they can play this controlled offense, they're going to win a lot of games. And games where our defense just struggles early on and we kind of play this catch-up ball, I think that's where this team's going to struggle this season. And the Commanders are a team that they're going to put up points. It's going to happen. They're going to put up points. So we are 2-1, and now we're going into Week 4 up against the Chicago Bears. This is a home game. But one of the things that Chicago did really well this offseason is they bolstered that interior offensive line. They made sure that their center, their guard positions were going to be strong, and I do think that that's going to pay dividends as this season goes on. Because I am still a little bit unsure of how our interior is going to go, because I am unsure of how our cornerbacks, our safeties are going to be able to match up against, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore. They got a lot of talented, skilled position players, and now they have Ben Johnson. Because of that, I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears winning. Chicago fans also travel well. I can remember literally actually the picture I have of the Raiders against the Bears. It's right over here. A lot of Bears fans. So because of that, I'm going to go with a 2-2 record after the first 4 weeks of the season. But this is when the Silver and Black really got to turn it on, because now you got the AFC South, and that's games that, I'm sorry, you absolutely, positively, you got to win those games. And you know what? I know everybody that's subscribed to this channel, I mean, I can't even believe it. We are less than 900 subs away from 200,000 subscribers. We are the #1 most watched Raiders show in the entire world. And if you can't actually get out to the game, there is one place that you need to be for watch parties, and one place only. That is here. Heck, we had a fan earlier on the show today, Busta Raider 42, was talking about putting a Real One for Life sign up in New England. If you're a Real One for Life, spam RO4L down below. And if you're like, Mitch, why should I subscribe to the show? You're going to become a smarter Raider fan watching this program. Free videos every single day, multiple live shows. During this season, I'm going to be live on Raiders Game Day every single Monday and Monday Night Football. Tuesday and Thursday on Game Day. You guys are going to get so much live content from me, you're going to be sick of me. If you want more Raiders friends, the amount of friendships that have grown in this channel prove to me it's so much more than a channel, it's a community. And if you're always down for a good time, Oakland style, I promise you, we're going to be the channel for you. Let's go to Week 5 now on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. It's going to be Daniel Jones, and This is going to be a team that I do think could surprise some people early on in the season because if they're healthy and they get that running game going with Jonathan Taylor, it could give some teams some trouble. But ultimately, Indy is good in the running game. And I think our defense is actually predicated more to stop the run, where I think that Indianapolis is going to struggle throwing the ball deep. And that's kind of our biggest weakness. For that reason, give me the Raiders to get a dub here, 30-20. I know it's on the road, but the game is indoors. Geno Smith indoors seems like a big-time win for me. Let's go to week 6. This time up against the Tennessee Titans. You're welcoming in the number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward. They actually, I think, have an interesting offense with Calvin Ridley. An interesting backfield as well with Tony Pollard. Their defense led by Jeffrey Simmons. He's an absolute flipping monster. L'Jarius Sneed did struggle last season. Maybe he's able to bounce back. But Dave Ziegler's down there, and Ziegler knows this Raiders team still from, some of the overlap that we had. With that being said, though, I'm not losing to the Tennessee Titans at home. Give me the Raiders to win this one 31-23, and you're going to notice a lot of high-scoring games. I expect the Raiders to be one of the highest-scoring teams in the NFL because if they stop putting that foot to the gas pedal, I'm worried that the other team's going to get some life. The momentum's going to go back on the other team's side, and then that's where we're going to get into some trouble. If you're the Raiders, foot to gas the entire game because you don't know when your defense could give up a deep play. And the Raiders are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL giving up deep plays this season. Let's go to week 7. On the road in Arrowhead against Kansas City. It's never easy to go into Arrowhead, I understand that, but I do feel like the Chiefs are more beatable this season than they have been in quite some time. Despite me saying that, I still think that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback on the planet. You got Andy Reid. They have a few different skill position players, and it's the first week back for Rashee Rice, which is going to be really difficult for the Raiders because they're going to have a whole new offense, and they're going to be able to develop a whole new offense around him, which it's just going to be tough for the Raiders to slow that down, and they're going to probably be a little bit of that guinea pig. So because of that, I got the Chiefs winning that Week 7 matchup 38-28, dropping the Raiders down to 4-3. Week 8 bye, I like this bye a lot. It lets the Raiders kind of regroup. The NFL trade deadline is in a few weeks, so because of that, you get healthy. You can regroup. You can kind of figure out, hey, are we trading for anybody? Are we going to sit back? Is anybody going to come trade for our guys? But at 4-3, I expect the Raiders to be aggressive. At 4-3, I expect them to go out and try to get somebody to help them win. Maybe it's in the secondary, but I've only been saying that for months at this current moment. If you don't already play Prize Picks, what the heck are you waiting for? I love Prize Picks. I played a few different lineups, honestly, over the weekend, and even though my one lineup did not win, my other lineup did, and I felt really good about it. So if you're somebody like me, you're just excited that football is back, then I want you to listen up right now because Prize Picks is where it is at. And, Prize Picks, I honestly love it, and I don't want you to miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks. And personally, I think it's simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks is also the best way to get action on sports in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which you will actually see from me here in just a moment, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. So here's a lineup that I have constructed for the Raiders' Week 1 game against the Patriots, and you'll notice it's all more. Ashton Genty, touchdown, more. Geno Smith, 14.5 fantasy points, more. Hunter Henry, 32.5 receiving yards, more. Maxx Crosby, 3.5 tackles, more. I took Michael Mayer, 13.5 receiving yards, more. And then Stephon Diggs, 48.5 receiving yards, more. Yes, there's a lot of more in that, but I also really liked, what was presented to me. So if you could play $5, you get 50 instantly in lineups. Real money sports action made easy. If you want to roll with that lineup, because the lineup that I showed was 20 to win, $364, and that's even with it being the flex play. So you could download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game, and if you plan on watching any game, I mean it, you're going to have a lot of fun when you also play Prize Picks. Let's go to Week 9 now, up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Jags are another team that's very difficult for me to understand how good they're going to be. New coach in Liam Cohen. They gave Trevor Lawrence a brand new deal. They gave him a lot of extra pieces to be able to work around him. Some defensive question marks, no doubt about it. But to me, I believe Geno Smith is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. And in some games where it's really hard to evaluate how that team's going to be, like I think the Jags and the Raiders are the same thing, where I think the Raiders could be a team that wins 10, 11 games. I think that's a team that could win 5 to 6 games. Same could be said about the Jacksonville Jaguars with that current state. Because of that, I'm going to go with the Silver and Black at home, 24-21 against the Jags. Let's go to Week 10 now, and it's the Denver Broncos, Thursday Night Football. It's a quick turnaround, and playing in Denver is never going to be an easy thing. And the Broncos have an elite defense. Quite frankly, they might have the best defense in all of the NFL. And I do think that the Raiders could struggle against that mile-high, pass coverage attack. From a defensive standpoint, Bo Nix doesn't scare me. You guys know that. But at the same time, they're going to play conservative football. And because it is such a quick turnaround, I think that benefits the team that has been together a little bit longer. And I think quick turnarounds also benefit the defense more than they benefit the offense. So because of that, it kills me to say it, but I'm going to go Broncos get the win 23-17 on Thursday Night Football, which now means the Raiders have a long time to get prepared for the Dallas Cowboys. It is important to note that the Cowboys, they actually had, I believe it's a Week 10 bye, so they get even longer. They get an extra 3 days to get ready for the Raiders on Monday Night Football, and I don't have any expert analysis on this one. I will say this, if you're playing a fantasy football, I think the Dallas Cowboys could be like the NFC version of what the Bengals were last season, a team that's going to put up a ton of points, but defensively is not very good. And I think that this game is going to be a shootout on Monday Night Football at Allegiant Stadium, and I think it's going to be fireworks. Hell, I think this one could go into overtime, but I'm taking the Raiders 42-35. I'm not letting my wife's team beat my favorite team. I'm not letting Jeremy's wife's team beat the Las Vegas Raiders. So give me 6-4. That's where we're going to be heading in to Week 12 against the Cleveland Browns. And, the biggest question is going to be, is Shedeur Sanders going to be playing in this game? Who's going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be Dylan Gabriel? Is it going to be Joe Flacco? Obviously, they have Myles Garrett, one of the best in the biz, but to me, the Browns are a bottom 3 team in the NFL. And maybe they get it figured out a little bit, but just from an overall talent perspective, I don't see it. This is also after the NFL trade deadline, so I could already see Cleveland probably shipping out a few other key players that they have. For that reason, give me the Raiders to win this game 31-17. The Raiders would be at this point 7-4 on the season. When you're 7-4, the expectation is to make the playoffs. The problem is how difficult this schedule gets as we continue to move forward. Let's now go to Week 13. You're on the road against the Chargers, and typically, road games against the Chargers are home games for the Raiders, just how it goes with, SoFi gets crowded. It's cheaper to go to a Chargers game than it is Allegiant Stadium. And because the Allegiant Stadium game is Monday Night Football, I do wonder if more Raider fans will go to that game, which maybe means that less fans will go to this one. No matter what, when it comes to the Chargers and Broncos this season, I think it's a coin flip. And because I went Raiders Week 2, I'm going to go Chargers are going to get the dub here 28-27. And I just respect Jim Harbaugh a lot. And I think it's hard not to respect what Harbaugh has been able to do and what Harbaugh brings to the table. He is a phenomenal head coach, and he's going to be able to make adjustments. But for us to be able to split with a playoff caliber team, I think that's a win. 7-5 as it stands right now, getting ready to go into Week 14. If you don't already follow me on social media, I'm at Mitchell Renz 365, literally everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Venmo, to stay up to date on all things going on around the Silver and Black news-wise. If you follow me, obviously, on here on YouTube, I appreciate it. But Instagram and Twitter is how you can also get to know me a little bit better. Like, I don't know, I was posting videos of Chuck and I over the weekend. He was swimming in the pool like a good boy. If you want to get in our duck races and have an opportunity to win thousands of dollars this season, add me as a friend at Mitchell Renz 365. Let's go to Week 14 now, up against the Denver Donkeys. And I'm not going to have the Raiders lose to the Broncos twice. though there is a concern that Denver is going to be a difficult matchup for the Raiders because of how solid that secondary is and because I do believe the Raiders are going to be a team that needs to score points. But Denver's offense doesn't concern me. And Bo Nix is going into year 2. The reports around Bo haven't been very good. That offensive line was stellar last season, and I don't know if the offensive line is going to be as good as what it was last season. On top of that, the sophomore slump is a real thing. Teams get more tape on you. Teams get to evaluate, and when you look at the next-gen stats, Bo Nix was much closer to being a bottom 5 to 10 NFL starter than what his stats suggest. So because of that, I think Bo's going to be struggling a little bit this season. Raiders improved to 8-5 on the season. Let's go to Week 15 against the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the game that I have credited as being the most difficult game on the Raiders' schedule. It's in December. It's in Philadelphia. You just played back-to-back division rival games. I mean, it's going to be a gauntlet. And because of that, I think Philly's going to be a physical football team if they stay healthy. Give me the Birds to win, 38-24. I got a lot of friends that are Eagles fans out in Philly, and I know I'm going to be getting text messages left and right around this one, but it's just hard for me to sit up here and say that we're going to beat the defending Super Bowl champs. If anybody wants to hang out with Jeremy and I on Thursday, reminder, we will be live rooting for the Eagles against the Dallas Cowboys on this upcoming Thursday. But for this game, I gotta take the Birds over the Raiders, and I hate it. Let's go to Week 16 on the road against the Houston Texans. And I have the Texans in my fantasy league simply because of, the defense. Chuggs always talks about them, and I do. It's one of the best defenses in the National Football League. And I want to know if are y'all going to a game this year, because if there's one tailgate that Chuggs and I would love to be able to go to, I would love to be able to go down to Houston and party with Raiders fans. But the plan is for us to go down to Houston for this weekend. And I at least want to be able to hang out with some Raider fans, be able to meet some Chuggs guys as well. But if you plan on going to a game, let me know what game you're going to. Let me know where you're sitting. And if you're subscribed to this show, I mean it. And if you want to link up to grab a picture, if you want to link up to talk Raiders, grab a beer, if I'm available, I'll do it. I also, when I go out to Vegas, when I go to these things, I go to mingle with Raiders fans. I go to meet people. So let me know where the party's at. I'll pull up, and who knows, maybe I can get some more people there. So let's go to Week 16 on the road against the Houston Texans. And this is a tough football game, right? And I think C.J. Stroud is going to be due for a bounce-back year. I think Houston's wide receiver core is one of the more deeper wide receiver units in the league. Will Joe Mixon be healthy? I'm not 100% sure, but the thing that Houston does that scares the hell out of me is it's going to be their ability to get pressure on teams, bring in 4, while then also having arguably one of the best secondaries in the NFL. And because of that duo, that is concerning for this Raiders team because you got to be able to block. When Geno gets protection, he's an elite quarterback. When Geno gets pressured, obviously he looks like most quarterbacks look, flustered. But I'm going to give this nod to Houston. I think the Texans are the best team in the AFC South. 28-21 is the score I'm going to go with. Let's go to Week 17, up against the New York Giants. And this game could very much be a Jackson Dart game. He was listed as the quarterback number 2. Whether it's Jackson Dart, whether it's Russell Wilson, I just believe that the Raiders are the better football team. The New York Giants have a top 5 defense, and I'll stand on that because I think they might have the best front in all of the NFL. And I do think that this will be a football game that is much more lower scoring than what people realize. And I think it's going to be a game that the Raiders really rely on Ashton Genty to take some of that pressure off of Geno Smith. Though we don't have a time yet on this one, I'm still going to go with the Raiders to get the dub Week 17 at home, 20-17, improving their record to 9-7, which means Week 18, Kansas City Chiefs. This is how it's going to wrap up. And I don't know how the rest of the AFC West is going to look. I anticipate the Chiefs are going to be the favorite to win the division. I do think that the Raiders are in that competition to be the second best team overall. Chargers, Broncos, my vote is the Broncos are the worst team in this division. That's, again, based on quarterback play. They might have the best defense overall, but you got to be able to compete from a quarterback standpoint, and Bo Nix is down here where Geno, Herbert, and Mahomes are a little bit higher up there on that tier overall. You might get mad at me, you might not, but because the Raiders have failed to adjust this secondary at all, I'm not going to have them beat Kansas City. And, in the offseason, I had the Raiders finishing 10-7. To me, I was hopeful when the Raiders back in May, when I saw this team the way that it was looking, I was hopeful that they would make some additions to cornerback, make some additions to that secondary. They really haven't done it, and because of that, that's going to be a glaring issue. And if it's a glaring issue to me, I know that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes already know about it, and I know they're going to do everything in their power to exploit it. Now, if we could score more than 31, sure, but that's going to be a really tough thing to do against the Kansas City defense that has played us well throughout the history of Andy Reid. It's just a simple fact. So, my Raiders prediction, the Silver and Black are going 9-8. And quite frankly, I think the Raiders might be the most difficult team in the NFL to do this for because, again, you could talk about why they could win 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. I think that there is that much of a difference. We got to stay healthy. We got to be motivated. Here's what I do know. We improved at quarterback. We improved at head coach. Those are two big-time improvements, and winning 9 games for a team that won 4 last season, and 4 was generous, is a huge improvement and is a step in the right direction to get us back to winning those Lombardis. We might not win it this season, but we're at least moving in the right direction. I think that record down there shows that. All right, y'all, if you want to get your questions, comments on the show, hashtag Raiders, or you can super chat to skip the line. Ooh. As it stands right now, I believe the MVP of today's show is Mr. Patrick B. So, Pat, if you had to choose right now, what would be the beer that you would tell me? What would be the beer I was getting?
Beer/drink.
Yeah, beer/drink. I mean, if you don't want me to drink beer, I won't drink beer, right? Like, if somebody's like, Fab, I want you to drink the Kool-Aid from Fabian Moreno at Desert Shark Tucson. Would love to make it happen.
He said Heineken.
Heineken? Oh, dude. That's a beer that makes me nervous. When I lived in Germany, my buddies and I one night, we got there was a lot of Heinekens that were put down. So my old girlfriend, she was German. Her stepdad was from the Netherlands, and he always had Heineken. Always had Heineken. So, I was a young kid at the time. There was a lot of guys that I played baseball with. They literally got paid in beer. Like, it's not an exaggeration. Literal paychecks in beer. And when I say paychecks, it was crates of beer. One night, my buddies and I, we had some Heinekens and it was what's the brown shot with like the stag? I can't think of the name. Jägermeister. Jägermeister on tap. 50-cent shots of Jäger and Heinekens. Freaking Heinekens. Jägerbomb. Name that YouTube. You know that YouTube video?
I do not.
Jägerbombs. Freaking Jägerbombs. No?
You saying it again does not make me...
All right, maybe if I say it one more time. Jägerbombs.
Still haven't seen it.
All right, one more time. No, just Joey. You and Chug should take a shot every time Genty bulldozes somebody.
Sure.
I mean, shot of what? Yeah, I'm hoping that happens a bunch.
A lot.
My new haircut. Let's go. If you want a ridiculous, like an iconic video, like old school, like there's Charlie Bit Me. I would put my new haircut up there as like old school YouTube videos to watch. It's
I'll put it on the list.
I hope that you do. I think you'll find it funny. Let's go to Stabler for President, a.k.a. Allen.
You're in.
To be honest, I wish we were still in Oakland. I would definitely be wearing a mask.
I think he's like black hole, like wearing like...
Oh, I was going to say, if we're talking about wearing a mask, I don't want to wear a mask. That'd be a reason why I wouldn't want to go. I miss Oakland because the Oakland tailgate will never be matched, right? And that's the way the Oakland tailgate experience will never be matched. I am happy, though, we are in Vegas because the Raiders are worth more. Players want to play in Vegas. Like, I know I've said it a few times, but I talked to a few Raiders players that didn't love the idea of bringing their families to the Oakland area, and
it's
let's be honest, right? Like Oakland compared to Vegas, it's a little bit different feel. I think from a X's and O's standpoint, from a organization standpoint, it makes all the sense in the world to move to Vegas. Also, Mark, I'll be honest, Mark told somebody that I knew that the reason why they moved to Vegas was Vegas said yes to everything Mark asked. Mark asked all the time for things to get done in Oakland, and California just always said no to him. So that became a little bit frustrating. But I think from a fan standpoint, I totally understand wanting to be there in Oakland. But if you could tell me to choose Vegas or Oakland, I would choose Vegas 100 times out of 100 because I think it helps out the Raiders be the best they possibly can. And to me, like, commitment to excellence is Vegas, in my opinion. Let's go to Johnny Raider. Going to the game Sunday, rocking Matsu. I was thinking like Matsuzaka, like a Boston Red Sox Matsuzaka jersey. I'm going to guess that's not what you're saying, obviously. I'm guessing this is an old school Raider.
Let's go defensive end. Is it John Daniel Matsuzak, nicknamed Twos?
Is that it? And, I like when you guys do this with me because I am a new Raider fan. I am a new school Raider fan, and I think one of the top things I talked about in Tucson was
he was in an episode of the A-Team with Mr. T.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. The Raiders just released their depth chart. Can I send this to you?
Yes.
Hang on. All right, the Raiders, they just released their depth chart. Rick Kelly says, come on, Mitch. I hear you. Believe me, like, I wish I was better with it, but to me, like, I know all of the guys that are, like, currently playing, and I know them from top to bottom. I want to be able to do, like, in the future, watch parties for, like, old school Raiders games because there would be a way for me to, like, learn the players a little bit better because I have a very selective memory. So, like, if I don't, like, sit down and design a show around somebody or if I don't, like, actually, like, watch that person over and over again, it's hard for me to remember. So, but we did just get the depth chart. When you get a second, if you could just put that up there.
Ryan.
What up, Ryan? Born and raised here in Mass, about 45 minutes from Foxborough. I'll be there repping the silver and black proudly on Sunday. I'm thinking May gets sacked minimum 4 times, 2 by Maxx. Agreed. I think 4 is the number you got to hope for. I also think it's going to be a good day for Maxx. He's going up against Morgan Moses, which is a matchup that we should absolutely exploit. 4 sacks, though, it's who's getting the other ones, right? I think Tyree Wilson is going to be due for a sack. And then can Adam Butler, Malcolm Kuntz, and the rest of the guys get one? I think that is doable. I do. I hope it's good, though, man. I hope it's a good experience. Hope you have a lot of fun, and I hope that you're rocking the silver and black, which it sounds like you are. All right, here is, from what it looks like, the Raiders' new updated depth chart that was just released. So I'm going to start at the top. They have Dante Thornton Jr. by himself as a wide receiver. I think that's kind of an interesting statement in terms of he's going to be your clear outside receiver. They have Jakobi and Amari both listed in the slot. That's going to be something to monitor.
It doesn't say slot, though. It just says wide receiver.
It's technically what it is. Because Jakobi they had listed as slot, and then it's Amari, and then their other outside guy is Trey Tucker, Jack Besh. I mean, maybe that's just them putting Amari behind Jakobi, but I don't know. I do find that interesting because I know that when they first put out the depth chart, that was like where they put slot. Tight end, no surprise. Running back, honestly, no surprises. Lineman,
Thomas Booker starting now.
No surprises. Defensive end, they have Tyree listed as a defensive end. You're right, Thomas Booker listed as that starting defensive tackle, which I like. Thank the flippin' Lord. Lucky Fotu, John Olalu, both over J.J. Pegues and Tonka Hemingway. Outside linebackers, Jamal Adams. Brennan Jackson, they actually listed as an outside linebacker instead of a defensive end, so that's kind of interesting to me because they're going to use him more as an edge more than a linebacker. If they're using Brennan Jackson as an outside linebacker and not an edge rusher, I don't think that they're going to like the way he plays very much. From a safety position, yeah, I don't really have too many things there. Stokes, DeCamerion, they did list Kai Blue Kelly, though, over Darian Porter. So I think that tells you that Kai Blue Kelly is going to be the other starter and that Darian has lost that job. Darnay Holmes is listed as the only nickel corner, but they're going to play a lot of safety. They're going to use a lot of players from inside out. Interesting, man. That's interesting.
Very interesting.
I think out of everything that I see there, Amari behind Jakobi is the first thing that I noticed. I would say, JPJ being listed as the starting right guard over Alex Kappa. Thank the flippin' Lord. White and Mostert still has the or. Thomas Booker at DT. But Darian Porter losing the job to Kai Blue Kelly, that's not good.
Huge.
That's not good. What is huge?
Tuna's top 5.
Tuna's top 5. So
spam those tunas.
So what we're going to do here today is we're about to get in to our Tuna's top 5. And if you don't know what our Tuna's top 5 is today, it is the biggest storylines from this past weekend of college football. So I thought this would be fun. Chuggs, what are your top 5 college football storylines? And for everybody that's watching right now, if you want to comment down below what you think your biggest storylines are, as always, show love to the great Tuna.
What games did you watch? What's your favorite college football team?
If while Chuggs is talking about a topic, if you want to weigh in on what you think of that topic, please do so. So we're going to go through our top 5 college football storylines. You're starting here at number 5, Bill Belichick.
Sucks? Does he suck? Ever since Tom Brady left him, he's kind of sucked. Sucked with the Patriots.
It looks like a team that Bill Belichick right now is giving me like grandfather energy, where when he was the head coach of the Patriots, he was still like the old 60-year-old dad that got shit done. Now he's 72-year-old grandma. I mean, that looked like a very undisciplined team. I do want to give credit to TCU. They played like a top 25 team. They looked really flipping good.
Oh, yeah.
They kicked some butt, but I think the Bill Belichick Tar Heels experiment is going to be a bad one.
Yeah, I wonder if he's way in over his head, and now we should have known there was something off when a week before his college football debut with North Carolina, he was working on patents with his girlfriend for Gold Digger and all these other things. How are you not focused on your week 1 matchup where you're doing all this stuff on the side?
That stuff's cool when you're winning. When you show up and they're talking about Michael Jordan's there, this celebrities. I mean, I forget what the tweet was, but the amount of celebrities that showed up to that North Carolina football game yesterday, they score, they're up 7-0, and then to me, it reminded me of almost like a Josh McDaniels team where they schemed the offense and then made no adjustments from there on out, and you're just not going to win that way. And they look like a team and totally out of sorts. And I hate saying it, but Bill doesn't have his priorities straight, and yesterday's game was absolute positive proof of that.
He's thinking with not the right head. Arch Manning, is he mid? Is
bad.
Arch Manning mid? I want to say in that first half, if you just took that footage, that
Quinn
game
Ewers,
tape.
Quinn Ewers wins this game. Quinn Ewers wins this game, I think, by double. I think they win by 2 touchdowns.
I think Texas outplayed Ohio State in every facet besides the quarterback.
I mean, Arch Manning looked like a QB that I wouldn't touch in the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft.
I think we have to remember.
Matt Patricia gets a lot of credit for that defense.
His last name puts a lot on him. But we all also have to remember, this is a quarterback who's only started, this is his 3rd game playing in Ohio State, a packed stadium, sold-out stadium, over 110,000 ravenous college football fans screaming in the shoe. The moment was too big for him. He pissed down his leg. That's all that I got to say. He pissed down his leg. I'm not saying that he can not be a good quarterback in the future. I will say
the eye test was not good.
And the eye test tells me he's got to play another year.
The eye test was a quarterback that, I'm sorry, was not closely ready to the moment. And they played great defensively. But if you could tell me watching that game that you still have confidence in Arch Manning, again, he can be good, but there were some people going, he's got to be hurt. That's how bad he played.
It was bad.
Very, very bad. This one I love.
Alabama downfall.
Is there anybody on a hotter seat than DeBoer? Maybe Bill. I don't know.
Listen to this stat. While the head coach at Alabama, Nick Saban, his entire career there, lost 4 games to unranked opponents. Kalen DeBoer, in his first 2 seasons, has lost 4 games to unranked opponents.
I mean, I am going to give Florida State some credit. I also got to give Richie credit because I talked to my dad, and he's like, I took Florida State straight up. I was like, that's dumb. And Richie, you win that
Richie knows
one.
ball.
Richie knows ball. I want to give credit, though, to Florida State. They did play really well, but Alabama looked like, again, a team that was just very, very much so poorly prepared.
And it's like you see it in college football where it's a slow downfall, right? Texas, USC owned the early 2000s in college football, and then they kind of faded away, right? In the 80s and 90s, the University of Miami owned college football. And slowly faded away. Before that, it was Nebraska and Oklahoma owned college football, and they slowly faded away. I wonder if our kids will look at us and say, Dad, was Alabama ever good at football? And you'll have to look at them and say, son, Alabama nearly destroyed every team for a decade.
For a decade. Uncle Jimmy, what's your number 2?
Miami, are they back?
Carson Beck looked, if you were to take a quarterback right now, Arch Manning or Carson Beck, Carson Beck looked so much better than Arch. Wasn't close. Carson Beck looked good. Got to give him credit.
Miami had all the guys, and it's funny because Miami did the same thing that North Carolina did, but they actually showed up. They actually won the game up against Notre Dame, a battle of top 10 ranked opponents. Arguably a better opponent than North Carolina had up against TCU, but they had Michael Irvin on the sideline. They had Andre Johnson. They had all these legends from the University of Miami. They had Jimmy Johnson on the sideline, and they showed up. Mario Cristobal, the former head coach with the Oregon Ducks, has he finally turned the corner? We've talked about it for the past couple seasons. We thought it might be with Cam Ward. They didn't make the college football playoff last year. Are they finally at a point where Miami's going to make a college football playoff?
Who's the OC there? I can't think of the OC for Miami's name. That's going to be somebody that's going to get some jobs because he had Beck looking great.
Shannon Dawson. With
how good Cam Ward looked, Cristobal, I get it. He's going to get a lot of credit, but the offensive coordinator, man,
entering
for Miami.
His 3rd season with the Miami Hurricanes, I believe he came over with Mario Cristobal.
He looked really flipping good. Though, I don't know where your number 1 is going to be.
UNT are the college football playoff dark horses. They smacked Lamar 51-0. If you don't know about the University of North Texas, you better learn soon because the Mean Green are back. The Mean Green Eagles are here, and they are ready to dominate. Out of all the non-Power 4 schools, the University of North Texas is here. They are ready, and me and Mitch will be watching them, not this Saturday, Saturday after, for their marquee matchup against Washington State this year.
I've never agreed with the statement more than the statement Rebel just made. This is the most rigged list of all time.
What are we talking about?
I'm not going to lie. I was trying to sit here, and I was looking at the gray background. I could guess what these were based off of the colors. I was like, I have no idea where he's going with this last one. I should have known. I should have known.
If you don't know, now you know. University of North Texas.
Mike says, number 1 story. Exactly, Mike. The number 1 story in college football.
Nope. This isn't the number 1 story. These are Chuggs' top 5 storylines.
Okay. All right.
You asked for my that's my number 1 story.
Yeah, this is like saying, what's a good example? This is like saying, I was going to say Labor Day because we just had it.
If you don't know,
Labor Day is a bigger holiday than
the
Christmas.
UNT Coffee Cup.
Oh, to you maybe.
The UNT Coffee Cup, legendary. One of the highest-selling university coffee cups of all time.
Do the math, guys.
I'll just
say
it
says UNT on it.
And then also the handle was the same color.
Yep. It's an elite coffee cup. I will admit that. The handle, let's just say the handle's green, the coffee cup's white, and the lettering of University of North Texas also green.
Great coffee cup.
It's elite. I will say that. Probably more elite than them being CFP dark horses.
Dude, look. Our head coach at University of North Texas, he was the head coach and OC for Cam Ward before he went to Miami.
True.
He also, for all the Oklahoma fans, I saw a couple Oklahoma fans out there, he was the one who recruited John Mateer, the now Oklahoma quarterback.
They would have to win every game.
Eric Morris,
51-0.
the head coach of UNT, also has a starting quarterback that before this season hadn't started a game at quarterback since, checks notes, middle school.
All right, here's my deal to you. If UNT is ranked in the top 25 at any point this season, at any point,
$5,000.
No.
So you think there's a good chance?
No, I just don't have $5,000 to give you for University of North Texas top 25. Some people might. I don't have that type of cash. If UNT gets into the top 25, I will do $20 beer bongs on a show. $20 beer bongs on the Raiders Report if UNT is ever in the top 25. Or I'll do it on Texans. You go live one day, I'll do $20 beer bongs on Texans until I pass out.
Deal.
I don't know what it would have to take. I can't picture a world where the University of North Texas in the top 25. Though we are going to be going to that game. It's going to be fun.
Rebel said nah, then UNLV would be in it. Who has
Are
better
they
chance?
in the same?
Who has better? They're both non-power 4 schools. Who has a better chance, UNLV or UNT?
Considering UNLV's been ranked recently, I'm going to go with UNLV. When was the last time UNT's been ranked?
I think 2 years ago they were ranked number 25.
Oh, really?
It was like week 11, and then we lost.
Oh. I mean, UNLV was ranked last year. I know that. The answer would be UNLV.
Mike, facts. UNT over the Cowboys?
You're probably not wrong there, Mike. You're
100%.
All right, let's go to the final segment here on today's show, which is going to be around.
We do have some super chats real quick.
All right, we do have some super chats. We'll go through them. Also, reminder to the 700 people here in the building, our super chat deals are as follows. Every $5 super chat in the month of September, you're going to be entered in for a chance to win an Ashton Genty signed Raiders helmet. Again, huge shout out to John Fallon for supporting the show. And John was like, I want to be able to get back to the Raiders Report. I want to be able to get back to the nation. So if you want a chance to win, $5 super chat. If you want a chance to win some money today, put it in your pocket, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. I should also mention that Marco Dell, I got your $5 on Venmo. I put it in for the Ashton Genty helmet raffle. That's why that name's in there. For the people in the duck race, right now it would be a $20 Venmo. You would go home with $140. Jeremy Val, you're in. Also, I see Drew is also in. And we haven't had any bangs yet today, though the MVP of today's show, based on XP, is Mount Raidermore's very own Patrick B. If you're the MVP of today's show, you get to pick what I'm drinking on our Thursday show this week. And Thursday's going to be special because we're going live for the very first NFL game. There's going to be thousands of people there.
My guy, Ira. What? Ira Jackson said, let's go UNT. Ira knows ball.
Ira. Mount Raidermore, Ira Jackson. Ira, did you go to UNT? Wouldn't that be wild?
Ira just knows ball.
Okay.
Ira knows good football teams, and he knows good universities, like the stand-up university that is the University of North Texas. Go Mean Green.
Obviously. What up, Patrick? Chuggs, what college football program did you root for growing up? There are so many in Texas. I'm just curious.
There are. I actually grew up rooting for the University of North Tech, or not University of North Texas.
I was gonna say, you shut your mouth. I was gonna say, get out of here.
I grew up rooting for the University of Texas. I was a Longhorn fan until I went to the University of North Texas.
Real Men 5.
I rooted for UT, and then I applied, and way too expensive.
What?
UT.
Oh.
It for my budget personally. I worked a couple jobs while I went to school, so UT a little out of the budget.
I can remember. Do you remember how much you made in college? And my job at college, I was $8.25 an hour.
I was a preschool teacher at a daycare. I made $12 an hour.
I remember you saying that now in our 2 interviews. Preschool teacher.
Mm-hmm. I was a preschool teacher during my college days, which kind of, not crazy because I didn't go out until like Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, but that Friday morning sometimes, or that Friday day with the kids.
Tough.
A lot of movies being put on. A lot of movies being put on.
A lot of movies. I grew up watching Penn State football. That was the team that I was the biggest fan of. I would say Penn State I grew up watching a lot, rooted for them. Teams I hated growing up the most were Ohio State, Michigan, and Notre Dame.
I hated
those were my 3 teams
Texas
I disliked
A&M
the most.
only because my older brother liked Texas A&M.
I mean, that's fair.
And also, if you're in Texas, it's kind of the thing of like, if you're a farm kid, cowboy, like outdoorsy person, kind of don't want to throw a slur around, but redneck, you are a Texas A&M fan. You kind of gravitate more towards that. It's A&M, agriculture, right? Yep. Agriculture and mechanics. So a lot of those people go more towards the Texas A&M side. If you are somebody who enjoys good sports and more fun and having a good time, then University of Texas is more of where you go.
Totally not a biased opinion there at all. I got a few more people getting in the duck race. 93, I got you in. Mark, Juan.
I grew up watching Miami.
Rich Ingold in. So 20 to win, $190 as it stands right now. Nabman, give me that helmet, boys. How are you today? I'm okay, honestly. It was weird for me being home alone all weekend. I don't have Alex, and now, Chuck is with Alex's mom because my, work week is really tough for me to, take care of him just because we're here at the studio so often, so Alex does a lot of that.
Mitch has been shitting with the door open, making his own beef jerky.
Yeah, I'll tell you this right now.
Going on riverboat gambling trips.
Not having Chuck with me last night and this morning was tough. It's tough, man. I obviously miss Alex a lot, but Alex doesn't she does sleep with me. She just
hell yeah, she does.
She just rolls over. She just rolls over. Chuck's the one that snuggles with me every night. So I'm like, it's been tough, man. Chuck's my dude.
What games will UNC win?
I mean, they got to win some. I can't imagine that they don't win any games this upcoming year. But I think that UNC is going to be very similar.
They have a couple very winnable. They have their next 2 games: Charlotte, Richmond.
I mean, they better be wins.
So and then they play UCF. Not an easy game. UCF, I think that'll be a tough game for them. They play Clemson. Then they play Cal, Virginia, Syracuse, Stanford, Wake Forest, Duke, and NC State.
I mean, the way they looked last night, I could see them having a very similar like the first year Colorado did with Dion, where there was a lot of attention, but they went 4-8.
I see them beating Charlotte, Richmond. I could see them.
I think they're a 6-win team.
Beating Stanford, Wake Forest, and maybe UCF or Duke. I give them 5 wins.
5?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 6.
I don't think they beat Clemson, Cal, Virginia, or Duke. I think they lose all 4 of those games. Okay. UCF too. I don't think they beat UCF.
I got you. I'm going to go grab water real quick.
Dude.
I see we got 3 more super chats. We'll get through the supers, and then we'll go to the final segment here on today's show. I'm just going to go grab water real quick.
Okay. We have another super chat from another Mount Raidermore legend, Ira Jackson. Don't watch college much, but getting Mitch to drink. Hells yeah, let's go. My guy Ira, how are we doing? How are we freaking doing? Ira Jackson and Navman getting in for the Ashton Genty signed helmet. Raffle's filling up. Every $5 super chat, you get a raffle ticket. And we will be doing it at the end of this month. Jeremy Cole and, what is that? Real Men Are Raiders. Y'all are also getting in on the raffle. But Ira, it's good to see you. I miss you, Ira. I miss your Musk.
Honestly, I miss Ira. Ira's a legend.
Ready for the season. And this is what I love about the regular season, too, is don't get me wrong. Like, I fully understand people who are like, outside of football season, I'm out, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to blame you. I get it.
I get it. There's other stuff going on in your lives, other things, probably more important. But then week 1, me and Mitch always play a game of who's back of the week.
Yep.
And week 1, week 2, we see names for the first time in 4 or 5 months, and we get excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's like your buddy that you haven't seen in a long time. And Ira, I know like you're in the group chats and a lot of the Mount Raidermore stuff, but when people pull back up here, it's like, man, it's like a family reunion. It's just good to see y'all, and we appreciate you guys, I think, more than you guys realize. And I'm not saying that you guys don't realize that. It's just, it's cool, right? Ira, it's good to have you back. What up, Jeremy? If the secondary gets exposed, does it force them to make the moves we have been wanting? Kind of a blessing in disguise. Put me in. I mean, at this point, I don't know if it's just the Raiders just saying like it almost reminds me of like when you tell an old person that it's not going to work and they're just too stubborn to say like, I need help. Like, it kind of reminds me, like if I were to tell my dad, if we were to get lost on the road, I'd be like, Dad, just turn on the GPS and like let's help out and like get out of here. He's going to be like, nope, I know where I'm at. I know how to get out of here.
Bro, my wife is the same way. I'll be like, we'll be out to dinner. It'll be late at night, and then we'll be like leaving the restaurant. And I'm like, let me just put in our address just so I can get back to the highway and know where. She's like, you've lived here for 8 years, and you don't know how to get back to the highway? You don't need this. I'm like, why do you care? Why does it matter?
Yeah, see, I am team, give me a GPS. My dad is like, I got a world atlas map in my trunk. I'll pull over and I'll get it. But like, Pete to me has got a little bit of that right now where I don't understand how in the world you look at this secondary and go, that's the secondary that I want to put my name, Pete Carroll, the cornerback secondary whisperer. I want to put my name on that. And I'll tell you this, if Pete can get this secondary playing at a high level, I'm going to be singing his praises. I'm going to be yelling from the rooftops how I was wrong. I'm going to be screaming louder than anybody that Pete Carroll is probably the greatest mastermind that you could ever possibly imagine in the secondary. Screaming. And speaking of screaming, Ira Jackson! Bang! Uh-oh. He's back with vengeance. Mount Raidermore, Ira Jackson. Okay. But wait until the season. I'll say this, Ira, it's a hell of a time to be back. Right now, you are the MVP of today's show. Now that I got you here, Ira, if you could pick any beer that I have to drink on Thursday.
Or drink.
What?
Or liquor.
Yeah, I mean, anything that you want me to sip on for our Thursday happy hour show, you let me know. Anything you want. Oh, my goodness. And one for the road! Ira Jackson! Bang! Oh, he's back! Hide your kids! Hide your wife. Ira Jackson is back in the building.
And that's a lot of tickets for this Ashton Jeanty helmet.
That is a shit ton of tickets. One would say 40. 40 tickets for Ira for the Ashton Jeanty helmet.
Well, right now,
my goodness.
Ira's the MVP. So, Ira, let us know, what do you want us to drink and what do you want us to eat on Thursday night? Guinness? Oh. All right.
Oh, somebody else be the MVP.
And Ira.
Oh, no.
So we have Guinness. What do you want us to eat on Thursday night? We'll do a little
Guinness,
review of it.
Dude. I will give you guys a Guinness boot deal if I have to do Guinness. It's going to be a big deal. I'm going to tell you that. It's going to be a big one. A Guinness boot live on this show. I mean, we saw that guy out in Vegas do it. I still don't remember his name, and I feel bad.
He did it in 24 seconds.
Bro, I mean, it was
Boot.
unbelievable.
The most impressive boot I've ever seen.
It was kind of hot. I'm not going to lie. I mean, maybe for you. Maybe for you. Most impressive. I've seen you do some pretty wild shit.
Ira.
Dude, Guinness is not going to be easy. Ira.
Patrick said, Heineken's not so bad now, is it?
Yeah, I know, right? Patrick, save me. Somebody save me.
Street. We could do that. He said, and we're going to eat street tacos.
Guinness and street tacos.
What a combo.
I mean, I love the street tacos idea. Guinness, though. Ooh. It's gonna be a heavy, heavy day on Thursday. Yikes, dude. Yikes.
All right. Well, if nobody else beats Ira Jackson today, we're having Guinness and street tacos on Thursday.
Where would we? I would want like a variety of street tacos.
That's fine. I mean, there's not a shortage of street tacos near us.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatsoever.
Definitely.
I kind of want to go. I kind of want to get it though from the place on McKinney that all the guys were telling us about, that street taco place.
I don't know.
I'll show you.
I trust you.
I'll show it to you.
Dude, I trust you.
Apparently it's Bob.
Ty Man the Buckeye in the building. What up, Ty Man? I got Ty Man some. What? I gave you some raffle tickets the other night on a certain show, which I don't even remember what show it was, but Ty Man was in the building. Ty Man's a Chat Sports OG. So, Ty Man, appreciate you pulling up today.
Ira Jackson, an absolute legend.
Ira Jackson, dude. Unbelievable. Real men.
Real men are Raiders.
Salute Raider Nation. Put me in for the Jeanty helmet. Get in. And again, if you don't know, sign Jeanty Raiders helmet, courtesy of John Fallon. And if anybody else has some cool stuff that they'd like for us to auction off on this show, don't ever be afraid to hit me up. Send it to us. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Let's go to Mr. Donut Man, Yoda Jenkins. Jeanty helmet, and congrats on 199,000 subs. By the way, maybe Belichick's problem was his balls were fully inflated. I mean, I think one of the funniest tweets that I saw was that Bill Belichick's girlfriend entered the transfer portal after the game.
Oh, the funniest one I saw was the meme where he's looking, like, you know, the guy looking back.
Oh.
And it was her looking back at Lou Holtz.
Yes. Holy shit, dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like the, poking fun at somebody else's significant other, because I'm always like, you got to come at me. Don't come at Alex. You're like, bring that energy towards me. But at what point? Like, again, I think if anybody here is dating, if you're 70 and you're dating somebody in your 20s,
congrats.
Good for you. But at the same time, I'm like, I mean, he knows it too, right? Like, they're making brands called Gold Digger instead of concentrating on winning the football game. When that shit happens, I just don't feel as bad. Rustin, speaking of Rustin, last person to get in the duck race, I also see the Night Devil, I gotcha. Ryan Soup, I gotcha. And then LA Crash, I gotcha. 20 to win, 230 right now. What's up, Rustin? Finally home from work. It was a good draft last night with some of the nation ready for week 1. Though I don't know who Rustin has. I know I have Random Buccaneers news. Buccaneers and right tackle Luke Gadek, 4-year extension. Literally, deal just ended up going down. I loved the draft last night. Oh my God, is that another one? I don't know how long we were going to hold that for. I didn't realize I threw it up that high. I mean, Jesus. Jesus, I'm drinking Guinness Extra Stout now. Or eat street corn Mexican style.
We'll see if they have some street corn.
Do we have to eat it the long way?
Okay, get that corn out of my face.
Dude, some Mexican street corn. What do you put on it? Do you put mayonnaise on it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Your mother-in-law actually made me some of the best street corn I've ever had.
Really? When?
At your shower.
Oh.
She looked me in the eyes across the room, and she just mouthed, corn? And I said, sure.
If Alex's mom offers you food, you say yes.
She grabs the husk. Then she grabs it by the husk. But she did me up some corn. It was like mayo, lime juice. Or no, it was like the lime mayo, I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
And then some chili, some tahini.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, I don't know. Alex sometimes gets mad at her mom. Mainly, like, before the wedding and honeymoon, because I was trying not to eat. And, like, again, if Alex's mom wants me to try something, I'm going to try it, right? Like, I feel bad because I know growing up as a kid, like, if my grandmother offered me food, you know, like, you always said yes. And I felt like my grandmother showed her love through cooking, and Alex's mom is very, very similar to that. But, dude, I mean, Alex's mom is a hell of a cook. Like, hell of a cook. And we had a lot of good food there. But she also knows that I talk to you about food all the time.
Oh, she knew.
Yeah?
She saw me and she goes, this dude wants some corn. This guy, he's eating corn.
He's eating corn the long way. I mean, Guinness Extra Stout, I don't see why I couldn't get the extra stout. I just what I planned on doing is I'll go to like the liquor store. Specs is where I go.
Go to the liquor stout.
And I'll get some stuff. But if you want Guinness Extra Stout, Ira, I mean, it's your world. We're living in it right now.
Hey, Guinness and street tacos, some Mexican street corn. Sounds like a Thursday night to me.
Dude, it sounds like a Thursday night. What up, Nathan? Put me in on that helmet, boys.
You're in.
What's crazy is we are approaching a year since we've seen each other, Nathan. A whole year ago, we were basically in North Carolina. I mean, we were getting ready to go out there at around this time.
Dude, still best Jamaican food I've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, Daryl wasn't lying. No, Daryl was hyping up the drinks. There was a lot of sugar in those drinks.
Oh,
I mean, it was a lot of sugar.
They were sugary. They were sugary for sure.
There was nothing but sugar. Dude, what a great time again, Nathan. It was great meeting you out there, man, which it's hard to believe it's almost a year.
June,
it's August. Get me in. USC football, real ones know. Did USC win?
I believe so.
I have no idea. USC's not ranked.
No.
I don't think they're ranked. I think USC is one of the most hated teams here at Chat Sports, but that's only because of Lincoln Riley.
Oh, I mean, for some people, I don't care.
I don't either. I'm just saying, if you were to ask out of everybody,
they are 1-0.
I think everybody here would say, I don't care how USC does. I do now because of
If you had to guess the score from their Week 1 game.
Guess the score? 70-3.
73-13.
Oh, wow.
They played Missouri State.
I went high. I went with a high one.
Night Devil. What up, nation? I'm looking forward to winning my first bet this regular season. Raiders win and the over.
Dude, good luck to you. I don't know who you play in our fantasy league, but I was looking at Fabian's team. I liked Fabian's team quite a bit.
I think, would you say there's more of our viewers are Notre Dame or USC fans?
USC. I would, and that's because of the location.
Let me know. If Notre Dame and USC played, who would you root for? Type Indy for Notre Dame, USC for USC. I think it's a little somewhat even. I think there's a lot of Notre Dame fans that are also Raider fans.
I know there's a lot of Notre Dame fans, and there's a lot of Notre Dame fans for every team. I think USC. I could be wrong.
We'll see.
I could be wrong.
P. Flores.
I will hit the gym Friday. I promise you this. I will not hit the – well, I mean, after Thursday, like Friday, yes, I will hit the gym early on Friday. Friday, like the day after a Thursday show is a guaranteed go for a run day for me. Like, if you want to see me randomly running through the city of Dallas, I'll have a long sleeve shirt on. I'll have my shorts on, my knee brace, and my objective is to sweat as much as humanly possible with all the toxins, get them out. But I'll go to gym early on that Thursday. We'll get ready for the show. But I mean, there's going to be a lot of Guinness going down. And I don't know how I feel about all that Guinness going down. But I'm a man that likes to try different things. And, again, you know, like I probably one of the number one feedbacks I get is, Mitch, you got to drink something else besides Happy Dad. You got to drink besides, you know, whatever. And I hear you loud and clear. I've been looking for a sponsorship. So if anybody knows any, you know, beer companies or, you know, seltzer companies, whatever, that like to sponsor, I would love to be able to hear from you. But at the same time, like, Happy Dads, they just work so well for what we do. But at the same time, like, I want to be able to sit down and have a beer with you guys. So if the MVP wants Guinness, then MVP is going to get Guinness. And today, that MVP is Ira Jackson. What up, Nav? Mitch kind of looks like, it's an old drink. My mom used to get it. A Zima. It's like, I want to say it's like grape, like it's like
most famously a discontinued clear carbonated malt beverage in the 90s.
Yeah.
Known for its citrus flavor and low alcohol content.
So my mom used to drink this. And there was like one time I was young. I was in my young 20s, and it was during one of the holidays. And I went out with some of my family members, and they were drinking Zima. Is it Zima? I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Steve says the original White Claw.
Zima, party in a bottle.
Sway me. I almost said Sway Migos. Sway Magos. Jersey is mine. It's not a jersey. It's a helmet.
Close though. You could try to wear it as a jersey. I'm not going to judge you. I don't think you're going to like the way you look, but
we guarantee it.
You at least got a shot.
Yeah,
shot.
you're in though.
I got you, Sway.
Next up, LA Crash.
What up, Gunny?
Reminder, Save a Warrior. Tell them Father Tom sent you.
Tell them Father Tom. What did you miss? The only thing really today that's happened is the Raiders, they released their brand new depth chart. And Thomas Booker was listed as DT number 1. Darnay Holmes was listed as the starter in the nickel, though he's the only guy listed. Kai Blue Kelly was listed over Darian Porter, so that looks like it's going to be Stokes. Kai Blue are going to be your top 2 corners for the season. Offensive line is exactly what you would suspect. I find it interesting that Amari Cooper was listed behind Jakobi Meyers. Dante Thornton was listed by himself. I don't know. I'm trying to think, man. I will see who's in the duck race.
Sway simplified a Crash Dog.
Simplified a Gunny. What is up, Gunny?
Lawrence, did you hear what Peyton and Eli said? Arch threw that INT. I told you he was adopted. That was AI, by the way. I think you know this, but for those who don't, just letting you know, that was AI. Peyton Manning did not say that Arch was adopted. That would have been hilarious if he did, though.
I mean, watching the Manning cast of that game, I actually felt bad, and I say that because of how bad Arch looked. And I don't know. I bring it up because I can remember my cousin Andrew, again, very different level of college football, but still a D1 college football player. I remember one game we went to, and he played in it, and he did not play well. and the amount of people around, right? Again, he's the quarterback, and everybody is saying X, Y, Z about him. His mom's right there, and I'm like, dude, this is honestly brutal. But at the same time, I don't want to say I don't feel bad for him, because you have to feel bad for him because of how much public, criticism he's getting. But at the exact same time, it's because of his last name is why he's in the situation that he's in right now. Because I think you clearly saw if his last name wasn't Manning, I don't know if he'd be starting at Texas. Because it looked that bad.
It was bad.
It was really bad.
June, my dad's a big Notre Dame fan.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame was, again, one of the teams I rooted against. One of my best friends from back home, he's a big Notre Dame fan. But growing up, it was like you're rooting for Penn State or you're rooting for Notre Dame in my hometown. What up, Anthony? What up, y'all? Tomorrow is my birthday. 38 years. Unfortunately, I got to work, but it's all good. Y'all be blessed. Happy birthday to my guy, Anthony Green, 38 years old. Anthony, I want to just say, I appreciate how often you tune into the show, how often you watch the show. I appreciate our conversations that we've had, and, enjoy your 38th birthday, man. That's
big news around Penn State, actually, as we speak. They just completed a deal. They're switching from Nike to Adidas.
It's more money for them, probably.
Yeah, they're now an Adidas school.
I mean, 4 years, $90 million for Luke Gadecki. Gadecki? Is it Gadecki or Gadek? It's Goedeke. Though I'm probably the last person to figure out how to
spam those
anything.
HBDs for Anthony Green, the Duck Race King. And wait, do you hear that?
Oh wait. Yeah.
Ira Jackson. Ira Jackson.
Oh my! I think we need a new gong. The gong is a little bit broken. It's a little bit broken.
Ira.
Come on, Ira. Absolutely.
Wait, no, don't do that.
Huh? Oh. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Don't do that.
Ira's like, all right, I'll take one for the team. Ira Jackson, and I think is now comfortably cemented himself as the MVP of today's show, which means Ira wants Guinness.
And street tacos.
And street tacos.
So I think the way we do it is Mitch doesn't like to eat on camera as much, so I think what we'll do is we'll go live on IG eating our street tacos and give a little quick review on Mitch's IG. If you haven't given him a follow, we'll do that before the game on Thursday. So at Mitchell Renz 365.
I almost feel like we do it at the end when we're banged up. Like, we need to eat before the game.
Yeah.
I know that. Now, see, I want to do it. I'd want to eat them on the show. I'd rather eat them on the show. Like, to me, we can eat. Like, I'd rather eat on the show.
Are we doing both or
what?
Like, we'll be able to order before and then.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, to me, if we're gonna do it, I wanna be able to do the food reviews on the show. Like, I'd want to eat on the show. Yeah, we'll just get our normal food that we'll eat before, totally fine, and then we'll get the extra food for the game.
That's fine.
I think that's fair. Yeah, Rebel said halftime. We could do it on halftime. I know that cold food sucks. I think, like, that's kind of the only thing where I'm like, maybe we just have to, like, when we order it. Like, we order it in, like, the first quarter or something, get it by halftime. Though, I don't know how crazy our show will be by then. We'll figure it out. Oh, man. What a loser, Mitch. Come on, don't be weird. Eat on camera. Yeah, I mean, believe me, I've done a lot of other weird stuff on this show. I don't mind. I don't mind having some food. It's also be kind of like we could just sit down.
It's not that Mitch doesn't like to eat or it's weird or anything. It's just if we're both eating, then nobody's talking.
Correct. So it's like, to me, I don't like hearing people chew. It's probably one of my biggest pet peeves. So if I was on y'all's end, I wouldn't want to sit here and listen to Jeremy and I chew. That's just how I am. So if it was like one and then one person talks, the other person eats, I'm okay with that. I mean, so far, Ira Jackson is just he's on a whole nother world right now. He is leading our August bang race. August, it's September, Mitch. Ira Jackson is leading the September bang race right now. He so far is the only person that has banged in the month of September, and he's got a big old, and I mean a big old lead right now. Ira, bro, unbelievable shit today, dude. Unbelievable shit today, man. He picked Guinness. Heineken doesn't seem so bad now. Also, Ira, I don't know if you heard us say it earlier. You know, if you're going to tune in and watch us Thursday, you're the first person that I'll call to, do a beer bong with. So just make sure you're available on Thursday. If not, no worries, no big deal.
Or if you want to send me a video at Jeremy Chuggs, we follow each other. Ira, if you want to send a 60-second video of your thoughts for Raiders Week 1, you can send that to me and we'll play it on the live show.
Correct.
So, Ira, if you're still here, I have your stuff online as well. I think on IG and Twitter. So we'll figure it out. Yeah, but Ira, if you want to send me a 60-second video of your thoughts for Week 1, we'll play it here on the show.
Yeah, just make sure there's no music playing in the background. Make sure no television's in the background. If I could recommend anything, it's blank wall behind you. Get your Raiders stuff on and just 60 seconds of what you think about the Raiders' upcoming game against the Patriots.
Maybe you mowing the grass while you do it?
Sure, whatever you want. Whatever you want. I want to be able to use the video that you send in. So to me, those would be like the top two glaring things of I'm not going to be able to use it. So just, I want to be able to, again, to put more faces on this show to show everybody here, all the amazing people that support us. And that's kind of the objective. So, Ira, send Jeremy a 60-second video, and we'll get you up on screen. Guinness on Thursday's got me shook, dude. Guinness on Thursday's
Carlos
got me shook.
Said, put me in the helmet.
Carlos, you in.
Actually, I think I need to message Carlos back. I think I saw that he messaged me on IG.
Carlos, you in. Right now, if anybody is also trying to get in for a duck race, I am at 20 to win, $280. We're going to do the duck race at the end of today's show. 20 to win, $280. Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. All right, y'all. Are we ready to do the final segment here on today's program? Are y'all ready for the final segment here on today's program?
Carlos said he's got me also, by the way, when we go out to Vegas, opening for him.
Oh, my God, dude. That would be unbelievable. I'll tell you this right now. If you were a Raiders fan, would you go watch Jeremy perform? 5 minutes.
Only if Mitch is providing tomatoes at the front door.
I can provide corn.
Oh.
Getting tic-tac? Uh-oh. What is it? All right, yeah, let's do it. Yep. My wife's a Cowboys fan, so let's go Birds! Dude. Luckily, win or lose. Oh, we're just going to be boozing.
You can go ahead and ask me. I'm just going to face this way to start. Eagle screech! Ah!
And if you want to see that video, give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter at Chat Sports. Seriously, if you don't follow us already on Chat Sports, I'm giving a huge shout out to our social team. They've been putting out a lot more random videos like that. I mean, you could have saw a video of me on the toilet if you followed us at Chat Sports.
Sitting on the toilet.
Boop, boop, boop.
Speaking of sitting on the toilet, coming up, keys to victory up against New England, that shit team in Foxborough.
that shit team in Foxborough. So what's going to be really cool about this segment is I'll give you guys my keys to victory, but then also I reached out to our Patriots guy here. His name is Brett Alper, and I said, like, what are the keys to victory for New England?
When he says reached out to him, he just walked over to his desk.
Correct, yeah. Thanks. Hey, I need you to do this for me. And
I reached out. I reached over.
No, around.
Hell yeah.
So he basically gave me his keys to victory for the Patriots, and then I put my spin on it as how the Raiders can slow down New England. So that's going to be coming up here next on the show. Can't control life. That's what we try to do, man. That's what we try to do. All right, y'all.
2 things.
Yep.
You have the chub on this one.
Yep.
And it is a coldie.
Coldie and some chub. All right. I'm ready to go. You ready to go? Coming up, let's talk about the Raiders' keys to victory against the New England Patriots. Before we get into my Raiders' keys to victory against the New England Patriots, I just want to let the nation know when I'm going to be live this week. We will be live an hour and 20 minutes before the Eagles-Cowboys kickoff. Join Jeremy and I, root against Dallas. That's our wife's favorite team. Then also, Raiders-Patriots. We're going to be live 1 hour before kickoff. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure those notifications are on. The first key to victory, you got to show up. My name is Mitchell Renz. Y'all are watching the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, I'm not only going to be looking at the Raiders' keys to victory up against the New England Patriots, I also talked to our Patriots host here at Chat Sports, Brett Alper, and he gave me the Patriots' keys to victory against the Raiders. So what I did is I saw those keys, and I put a spin on it. How the Raiders can slow the Patriots down to make sure that we get a win in Week 1. My first key to victory, though, up against the Patriots, the offensive line needs to win for the Raiders. I know I speak about the trenches. I know I talk about winning in the trenches all the time on this show, but to me, it is at the utmost importance for this offensive line to win for the Raiders, not only to set up the downfield passing game, not only to protect Geno Smith, but also to really establish that running game early on. It's going to be Colton Miller, Dylan Parham, Jordan Meredith, JPJ, and DJ Glaze. Those are going to be your starting offensive linemen. And when I think about the good and the bad when it comes to Geno outdoors, he looks much different. Like I've said it before, I think Geno outdoors, I don't know if that is a top 16 quarterback. Geno indoors is an elite top 10 quarterback. So to me, if the offensive line goes out there and they do their thing, they give him more time, he's protected, you're going to get the best version of Geno Smith. It also helps you get the ground game going with Ashton Genty, which I think if the ground game gets going, it's going to open up everything, especially the vertical passing attack that Chip Kelly wants to be able to do. Also, I think sometimes the more physical team just wins. And in a game that I think if these teams played 10 times, the Raiders win 5 and the Patriots win 5. Sometimes it just comes down to who is the tougher mother effing team, and I think that's going to be one of these games here going up against Mike Vrabel with Pete Carroll on our side. Let's go to number 2 here. Good teams make adjustments. And, you know, I've thrown this out there because I know the Raiders are going to be going up against Josh McDaniels, and I don't know if the Josh McDaniels offense is going to be able to make the adjustments that a Chip Kelly offense is going to be able to make. But just because the Raiders either A, do not score on that first drive, or B, do score on that first drive, you got to be able to make adjustments. The first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and the fourth quarter from top to bottom. So for Chip Kelly, if it's working, you still need to be able to adapt and not just expect that the first thing that you did is going to work the entire game. Patrick Graham also needs to be prepared for a creative McDaniels. And I say that, you know, kind of jokingly, but you're telling me right now McDaniels doesn't have this game circled? You're telling me right now McDaniels doesn't have this as like one of the top games he wants to go out there and say a big old FU to the Raiders? Of course he is. We're going to get the best version of Josh McDaniels that we've seen in probably a very, very long time. Patrick Graham needs to be ready to deliver. Patrick Graham needs to be ready to deliver those adjustments because I know that McDaniels has struggled to make those adjustments in the past. And I'm going to know really quickly how legit this Raiders team is because if we come out and we look really solid in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, that's what good teams do. They make adjustments. And I think whatever team is able to make adjustments continuously for 4 quarters will be a team that ends up being victorious this upcoming week. So what I want to know from the nation, one key to victory. One key to victory for the Raiders. It can be on the offensive side of the football. It can be on the defensive side of the football. I want one key to victory for the Raiders against the Patriots. Let me know why you're getting hit with this YouTube ad break. My one key to victory here. I know I've mentioned a few. There's going to be a key to victory, though, and it's the one that's about to come up, and it's going to be an under-the-radar one, but it's something that if I was this coaching staff, I would absolutely positively do. And this might shock you, but I'm going to test Christian Gonzalez. I'm going to test out that hamstring because this is a player, he has not practiced since the 5th training camp practice. We're talking about July. He has not participated in practices at all. If I was the Raiders, I'm trying to figure out ways to test that Christian Gonzalez hamstring. Because if he's still not practicing, is he going to be 100% healthy? Is he going to want to stretch the field? I don't know. So one of the first plays I'm doing is if I have Christian Gonzalez over here on the right side and he's lined up with, I don't know, Jakobi Meyers, let's say, I'm going to try to get Jakobi off him, and I'm going to try to get Dante Thornton on Christian Gonzalez. I'm going to try to move guys around to get Trey Tucker on Christian Gonzalez. And what am I going to do? I'm going to run deep. In the first quarter, I'm sending those guys deep. I want to see how healthy Christian is. And if he's not healthy, maybe this is effed up to say, but if you don't have a healthy hammy and you constantly are testing that out over and over and over and over again, there's a question for injury. Maybe they take him out of the game. Maybe another injury happens and he suffers a setback. But if I'm the Raiders, I'm going after Christian Gonzalez early to see how healthy that hammy is. And if it's healthy, maybe we get bit by the bug. But you know what? I'd rather die being aggressive than instead of losing, being conservative. And if I'm the Raiders, I'm doing it early and often. I'm testing Christian Gonzalez's hamstring. The next thing that I want to do, got to limit the deep ball. And I believe that this Raiders defense is built to stop the run. I think the Raiders are built their defense to do a really good job in the first 10 to 20 yards. I am concerned about the Raiders secondary. Y'all are probably concerned about the Raiders secondary as well. And to me, I think about the Josh McDaniels offense and the way that it's made. The McDaniels offense is basically designed to beat you with 7, 8, 9 play drives, methodical drives. McDaniels isn't good enough to do that multiple times when he doesn't have his guy in Tom Brady. So I know that deep down. I also know that Drake May is a good down-the-field thrower. I also know the Raiders' biggest weakness is in that secondary, and if a few big plays end up happening, that's really going to help out this New England team because it's going to open up literally everything also underneath, which is where McDaniels makes his bread and butter, right? Like, that's his offense, underneath routes. So if the Raiders start giving up some of these deep plays, maybe it's Kai Blue, maybe it's Darian Porter. What I do know is Eric Stokes is going to be the one lined up next to, or I guess across from, Stephon Diggs. But if the Raiders don't give up any of these home run plays, they're going to be okay because I think the Raiders' offense is better than the Patriots' offense. Patriots' defense is better than the Raiders' defense. But just because of the way McDaniels kind of goes about his business, if you limit the big play, they're not good enough offensively to score on you, I think, over and over and over again. Plus, PG is kind of built on the bend but don't break mentality, which kind of takes me to my next area here, and this is win in the red zone. And I mean this on offense and on defense. If you're the Raiders and you get to the red zone, you better flip and convert because I'm kind of done with the Raiders struggle in the red zone. We struggled in the red zone with Luke Getsy. We struggled in the red zone with Josh McDaniels. We struggled in the red zone with John Gruden. Same thing over and over and over again. Until you are able to convert in the red zone, you're not going to win high-quality football games. And the Raiders need touchdowns, not field goals. Last season, 48.9% of touchdowns in 2025 in the red zone. So that means when they were inside the 20, they're scoring a touchdown less than half. That's 26 in the NFL. The Patriots last season, they were 30th in red zone touchdown percentage at 46.8. I know that McDaniels has been somebody that has struggled in the red zone in years past. I know PG's kind of built this bend but don't break defense. For the Raiders, if New England gets in the red zone, force them to kick field goals. If the Raiders get opportunities to be in the red zone, got to score touchdowns. It's kind of simple, duh, no shit, Mitch. But in a game that is this equally decided, that I really do think is going to be the deciding factor of who wins, who loses, because this is going to be a game that I think both teams try to kill a lot more clock than what we originally anticipate. So your opportunities might be less overall. Coming up next here on the show, I'm going to get into the Patriots' keys to victory and essentially how I think that the Raiders can slow those keys down and slow down the New England's overall ability to beat the silver and black. I'll get into that in just a moment. Here's one key, though, for all of y'all. Chubbies is changing the game. If you like the shirt I got on, it's one of the most comfortable shirts I've literally ever put on. In terms of, like, my Raiders gear, I think it's the most comfortable Raiders shirt that I own. And if you're ready for some football, listen up. If you're not, well, I don't even know why you're here. But Chubbies is ready to help you with their NFL collection. Whether you're tailgating, grilling, or riding the highs and lows, which there's going to be plenty for this Raiders season, Chubbies has the officially licensed NFL gear to keep you looking like the ultimate fan. With bold designs featuring Raiders logos, Chubbies game day gear isn't just comfortable, it's a statement. Rep your team's logos in wildly comfortable polos, wave-making swim trunks, and gym-ready mesh shorts. Yeah, you heard that right. Swim trunks with your favorite NFL team's logo on them. All the comfort and swagger you need to take on every touchdown dance, chest bump, or dramatic fourth quarter meltdown. If you're not a jersey guy, this is an elite alternative. If you're a jersey fanatic, something tells me that you're going to love their NFL collection, because when you're invested in the game, your outfit should be too. For a limited time, our exclusive code is ChatSports for $10 off at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. Yes, that includes the NFL collection. Let the thighs out. Let the good times roll. So, listen up, folks, because for that limited time, our friends at Chubbies are giving our listeners $10 with the promo code ChatSports at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. That's $10 off your order with the promo code ChatSports, and that includes the NFL collection. Support the Raiders Report. Tell them that we sent you. Express yourself and level up your game day wardrobe with Chubbies. And I always say this on the show, but when I go out to Vegas, I take a backpack, and I need clothes where I don't want to have to worry about ironing. Like, it's the last thing I want to do when I go out to Vegas. Not the last, but it's definitely one of the last. These shirts are super comfortable. If you sweat in them, you're not going to be able to tell. It's going to be hot out in Vegas. I do think this is literally one of the most perfect shirts for Raider fans out in Las Vegas, and it's going to be available to y'all down in the comments and down in the description of today's show. All right, let's keep it moving here now. Coming up, the New England Patriots keys to victory against the Raiders. The first one that our Patriots guy told me was set the tone. And Mike Vrabel is a tone setter. Pete Carroll is a tone setter. And if you don't think that the first game for Vrabel at home in front of his fans against his buddy and Brady, against the team that the Raiders really tried to get Vrabel this offseason. The very first name that was brought up to me of, hey, this is the guy the Raiders are looking at, Mike Vrabel, because of that Tom Brady connection. And Vrabel's teams are always ready to go, and they're always ready to try to set that physicality and tone. Like the game plan that you would think about going up against the Harbaugh team, Jim Harbaugh, kind of the same that you're going to get for Vrabel, which kind of brings me to this question, because Pete's going to want to set the tone. Vrabel's going to want to set the tone. Who do you think's the better head coach overall? If you think it's the Raiders head coach and Pete Carroll, I want you to type PC. If you think it's Mike Vrabel from the New England Patriots, I want you to type MV down below. Let's go to the next one here. Limit the turnovers. And for the Patriots, they struggled with this at times last season. Obviously, the Raiders did as well. New England had 23 turnovers last season. That was 23rd in the NFL. The Raiders forced only 13 last season. That was 29th in the National Football League. But last year, the Patriots were 2-11 when they turned the ball over. They got a new quarterback now starting the entire season in Drake May. I'm excited to see what May looks like for an entire year. You guys know how much I like him from a talent perspective. But also, we got to be able to force turnovers. That's one of Pete Carroll's bread and butters, being able to force turnovers. It's something that this team has really preached on the entire year, and I do think whoever wins the turnover battle in this game probably ends up winning the football game as well. Let's go to number 3. They said pressure Geno Smith. It's not rocket science. When you get pressure on a quarterback, everything changes. And for Geno, when you get pressure on him, he does look a lot different. But when he's got a clean pocket, he is truly an elite top 10 quarterback in the NFL, and every metric proves that. Hell, most metrics prove that he's top 8 when he gets a clean pocket. But Geno last season had a 56.8% completion percentage when he was pressured, and that happened often on 38.5% of dropbacks. Geno also led the NFL last season in interceptions when being pressured. So if you're New England, you already know that. You're going to try to get north and south, and you're going to try to get after him as much as humanly possible. Maybe it's on the interior with Christian Barmore, Milton Williams. That's going to be a big test for JPJ, Jordan Meredith, and Dylan Parham. But, Geno, when given time, he's unbelievable. But when he was pressured, his passer rating did drop to 49.9 last season. Obviously, we got to protect him because when you give Geno time to throw it with the offensive weapons that we have, we are going to put up points. Just got to be able to give him some time to get it going. Let's go to number 4 here. They want to try to establish the run, and that's kind of maybe going back to setting the tone with Vrabel a little bit. They're going to use Trevion Henderson a lot. They're going to use Ramondre Stevenson a lot. Now, I would say for Henderson, you kind of want to slow him down a little bit more in the passing game, and I wouldn't be shocked if they tried to put Henderson on some of our linebackers, just like, the Deion Lewis's, the James White, the pass-catching rule that Josh McDaniels likes to implore as much as he does. But Stevenson's going to be that thumper. He's going to be the physical running back. The Raiders ranked 13th against the run last season, which I was actually pretty surprised by that number. But Drake May is really good off play action. And when he gets the play action game going, and when McDaniels gets the play action game going, that offense looks better in a whole. If we slow down the running game and make McDaniels one-dimensional, and I want Raiders fans to think about that, right? Like, you go back in those Raiders games where McDaniels went one-dimensional, it was poop. And I hope we see a lot of shit for the New England offense. Let's go to the final New England key to victory here against the Raiders. Get Stephon Diggs involved. He was their big ticket item this offseason. Signed a 3-year, $69 million deal. It's technically a 1-year prove-it deal for $23 million guaranteed. But there was a lot of, question marks around him. There was a lot of, wonder, is he 100% healthy? I literally heard Mike Vrabel talking about him on Tuesday. They were like, we're hoping that he's out there. And I think he is going to end up being out there. The matchup to watch here, though, is him against Eric Stokes. And Stokes is going to have a big-time job. But then what happens with, Kai Blue Kelly? He's listed as a starter over Darian Porter. Darnay Holmes. A lot of different safety looks are going to have to happen. And I do anticipate the Raiders are going to play a lot of zone. This new Pete Carroll defense, the cover 3, there's going to be a lot more zone, and there's going to be some misdirection. But ultimately, for the Raiders, I mean, you have to control the deep ball. I know Diggs is a hell of a route runner. I hope that Stokes is up for the challenge overall. But, the Patriots have a lot of other players that can beat you in certain areas. Kyle Williams hasn't looked all that great. I know that. Douglas has been somebody that's been getting some attention. Efton Chisholm, has been somebody that's been getting some attention as well. But their big play guy is Stephon Diggs. So to be able to limit him to the best of our ability and not let him get cooked, because when he gets cooking, he's tough to slow down. And I want our players to keep that confidence level. If you like the keys to victory from New England, or if you have more questions and you want to give them to our Patriots host, I put his Twitter down here below. It's @TheRealAlper. So please go check him out and go hear what he has to say about the Raiders' upcoming matchup against the New England Patriots. What'd you say? Bonus who? Bonus key, if you want one. From Nabman, key to victory. Take Spillane out of the game with Brock, Mike, and Ian. Make him look like shit and force him out of the box. I think actually a great way to do this, Nabman, is to be able to hand the ball off with Genty and kind of get that ground game going. They're going to be creeping, and then Brock Bowers against Robert Spillane, he's going to win that matchup. Michael Mayer against Robert Spillane, I think Mayer is going to win that matchup. So I do think a really good way to take Spillane out is to get him to bite, thinking that you're going to be able to run the football. They're going to do that a lot with the pistol formation. Get him to hold, right? Geno calls high, get him to hold. Genty comes up, and as soon as that bite comes in, Brock's already been run by us. So, Nab, I like it a lot. If you guys do not know, we will be live for this game. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure those notifications are turned on. I hope that I'm at 200,000 subs by this moment. And a reminder, we will be going live 1 hour before kickoff. Oh, man, can't control life. Wilson! No Venmo here. Can this count? Unfortunately, no. So, because if you win, I can't send you the money. Now, if you're like, I just want to race for the hell of it, then sure, you can race for the hell of it. That's probably the best I can do. If you're like, if
you do get 4 tickets for...
You do get 4 tickets for the Genty helmet. If you win, I will give you... How many people are in this duck race? If you win...
Raiders hat?
Nah. I don't know how I'm going to get it to them. I need your shipping address.
Yeah.
I need your info. So you get 4 entries. I don't want to change the rules because then I open up a new can of worms. But Raider Shield family says, yep. Nah, we're thinking the same, bro. Honestly, if I'm doing segments like that and one of y'all want to send in a super with your thoughts, I would love for Jeremy to do that more often. So I greatly, greatly appreciate it. But imagine, Ira, you're the MVP today, right? Imagine we do that show, and then at the very last one is a 60-second clip of Ira Jackson. Like, that's kind of like the envision of what we're trying to do, if that makes sense. Like, going forward. And I know it's going to take a little bit of time to get it to go forward. I totally, totally understand that. But, this will typically be a segment that I would do on a Thursday. And then it would be like the final key. Let's go to our guy, Ira Jackson. And it's Ira giving his 60 seconds of whatever he thinks the key is. Like,
facts.
I want to give you guys more opportunities to get up on screen. And don't get me wrong, I know you guys like chugging beers with me. I know, the costumes, it's all that. It's all fun. But we got so many amazing people that watch this show, and I want y'all's faces to get out there. I want this to be the show for the nation, and I hope that you guys help me do that this year.
Last chance to get in the Venmo race, $20 at Mitchell Renz 365 on Venmo. You want to get in that bad boy. Raider Rob, a.k.a. the guy from Jurassic Park. One more entry for Genty. Also, what do you think we'll draft for in 2026? Quarterback or cornerback? First round, Chuggs, how'd you become a Texans fan, not a Dallas fan? I was born in Houston. The only reason I moved to Dallas area is because I went to the University of North Texas, which is 30 minutes north of Dallas and Denton.
The biggest storyline from this past weekend, by the way, if you didn't hear.
UNT dominates Lamar 51-0.
I mean,
I don't even want to think about that far ahead.
I mean, if I'm picking between, it's cornerback, and I don't think it's all that close. Again, I don't think Geno gets the love and respect that he deserves. And he's going to be the Raiders quarterback for the next 2 years, right? Like, Geno's the best quarterback we've had since 2016 Derek Carr. So to draft him, that means that this team's not trying to win right now. And I know this team's trying to win right now. So they're going to build around Geno. So I would say cornerback would be the more likely option. And here's the best part about projecting. Think about all the conversations people have had about this upcoming quarterback class. I don't think anybody would touch Arch Manning right now in the first round. Right? Like, to me, and I get it, I like these questions. It makes you think ahead, but we're good at quarterback. And I'm so confident at our quarterback position that taking a quarterback in round one to me, unless there's just just an insane, prospect that our team falls in love with, but I think we're good at quarterback. I don't even know if we draft a quarterback next year, quite frankly. It's corner. It's defensive tackle. I think that's kind of the areas that we'd almost have to look at personally.
Yeah.
Maybe even, honestly, I don't even think, offensive line's out of the realm of possibilities. I really don't. Because DJ Glaze, yes, he's done a great job at right tackle, but there were some people, that thought that he could play guard. So, just something to throw out there. What up, Gunny? Need that, I don't know who, Genty helmet for the next training camp so I can fill it up with signatures. I mean, that's interesting. So, I guess if you filled this up with even more signatures, take it to a practice, say how many can you get? Though, is it worth more if it's just Genty? Or if it was because I think the fear is, if you put Genty and a player that got cut,
Will Putnam,
that value goes down. If you got Genty
how many Ashton Genty Will Putnam helmets are there out there?
Probably some. To me, if you get a Genty helmet, the only players in my mind that you can put on that helmet right now, Maxx Crosby, Brock Bowers, Colton Miller, Geno Smith. I guess also all the rookies. Though you're not going to be able to get a Tommy Mellott signature.
You don't think so?
Yeah, he's down in New Orleans now. It's going to be tough. Which, I was actually happy for him. It's a good opportunity, I think, for him down there. All right, y'all. Final check here. It's 20 to win, $320. Soldier Man, you got the final one. 20 to win, $320 here on the Raiders Report. If you don't already know, our guy Ira Jackson is the MVP of today's show. And he has requested street tacos and Guinness beer on Thursday. Yikes. I promise you this, every Thursday, I will do a boot. Or I will have a boot deal out there. So I'll probably end up getting 6 Guinnesses. 3 of them will go in a boot. The other 3 will be for something else. Oh, I know, but I gotta. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see how it goes. It's not gonna go well. I know that, but
all right. Are we good?
Final refresh. We are golden, Pony Boy.
Here we go.
Here we go. Jose, somebody with some coffee and Valve in first place. Gary Backus. Watch out for Gary Backus. Anthony Green, that man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Soldier Man.
Ira said I'm back, and I'll be here for game day. I am back.
He said he's scaled back. I mean, I don't blame people for, like, chilling in the background in the offseason, and then once game time. Like, for people who are new to the Raiders sport, I think they're going to get their mind blown when they see how crazy the show gets on game day.
Oh, yeah.
It's honestly like watching this. It's unbelievable. You can't even believe what you're seeing. It is absolutely.
There's 2 watermelons. There's a giraffe and a zebra. But the giraffe has a astronaut helmet on.
I mean, but the shoes, very different. I mean, Richard Engel's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Soldier Man! Oh, my Lord.
Look at him go.
Actually, this is how the watermelon Gatorade was invented. True story. True story. Soldier Man. What? I don't know what number that was, but he had, I'll say this, he had by far the most. You could see there's a few Soldier Mans in there. By far had the most.
Darth Fats. Felix Gans. Bunghole.
Gets the bunghole pick. Soldier Man, if you could please confirm that you just received 320 doll hairs, much obliged.
Ira, I'm so ready for game day, man.
Ira, I'm super ready, man.
And Muerte bringing in the vibes as always.
At least I see myself from Ira. Ira, reminder, send in 60-second video. Send it to Chuggs. Send it to Chuggs. All right, y'all. That's all we have on tap for today. Really appreciate everyone that always tunes into the show. And again, very excited for the football season to happen. For the upcoming year, the way that our schedule is going to go is I'm going to go live every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. We will be live for every single Thursday night football game. The only way that might change is if it's like, I don't know, maybe like, for example, like the Chiefs play this Friday. If the game, like if it's a Chiefs game on Friday, if they didn't play the Chargers, I would have went live for that game. But there's going to be other games where Jeremy and I could potentially go live, so just keep that in mind. But I plan on going live every single Thursday, obviously every single Raiders game day, and then I will also be live every Monday morning, kind of just like a quick, let's talk about the game from the night before after we have a full day to let it digest. And then also every Monday night, I will be live on our main YouTube channel. I do plan on simulcasting on the Raiders, just so you guys know. So I'll be live on our main YouTube channel, and I'll be live on Raiders every single Monday for every Monday Night Football game this year.
I don't even ask you, what are you doing for the first one? Because there's 2.
I'm probably only going to pick one game. Or, I mean, I guess I could cover both. I could try. Well, I mean, what's the better game?
Let's see. We've got...
I could try to cover both to the best of my ability. And then...
Monday... Or actually, no. Never mind. This week it's next week there's 2. Yeah. And obviously there's that. This Monday, Vikings-Bears.
Oh, dude, that's a great game. Ben Johnson, J.J. McCarthy, Caleb Williams. That's what I mean. I'm so excited for football being back. So excited for football being back. But, I'll say this. We're doing all these extra live shows this year because of y'all, right? And I want to be able to keep on doing these extra live shows. I want to do so many live shows that y'all get sick of me. And that's just the honest truth. So I'll see you guys on Thursday from me, from Jeremy Chuggs. Reminder, live an hour 20 before kickoff.
Oh, Kedrio. That's an entry for the Genty raffle. He said,
wait, also Brian Hinkle.
Go Dogs.
He's got 2. If you are ever in Connecticut area, let me know. We'll have to celebrate from Brian.
Connecticut.
I
heard they have good pizza.
Really?
New Haven.
Okay.
Apparently great pizza there.
I'll have to go test it out. I at some point, I want to be able to go and visit, like, every single state and party with, like, every single Raiders fan group because I know there's so many. It's probably a few years down the road. But
road trip.
I mean, if we got a Raiders Report van. Bus. Yeah, it's probably better. Or Rebel. We'll deck out Rebel's truck. We'll stay in the back. Rebel drives. It's not the worst. I mean, John Madden, he did it. He didn't like to fly.
He drove everywhere?
Yeah. And not him personally, but he had his, basically like the Monday night, like, RV, because he didn't want to fly. So they drove around.
That's sick.
It'd be pretty iconic. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I'll see you guys Thursday night. Hopefully the Eagles beat the Cowboys.